We're streaming and we're immediately starting off here, trying to get everything settled. This is our first run at this. I don't know if you guys can hear me. So if you're here and you can hear me, let me know. That'd be great. But we are immediately starting off with Amber and Amethyst on one side, and then we're starting off with the Sapphire with the Julietta's Arepas on the other side. So that is interesting stuff here, as we are already off to the races here with one lore, and we're just gonna go like this, switch them around because that's what we gotta do. And one lore over here to 0. As we're eating some interesting cards, we gotta let it go and a oh, we're new at this, you guys, but listen, that's Pedro Madrigal. He's on the board. He's doing stuff, but not things, because he needs more Madrigal characters in play for him to do his job. So very interesting stuff coming in here. We are going to go ahead and exert after inking our Horseman Strikes to pop that Junior Woodchuck's guidebook, getting in for another lore. At least some of these things are working, and I'm so proud of us for that. But we jumped in. Oh yeah, we jumped in and we're just kind of going. We're doing it. I'm really on the back foot here. It's the production side of things. I'm so proud of us for always giving it our all. But we're seeing some Julieta, Madrigal, damage stuff happening. And as much as I like that, I don't know what these players are. These players have names. I'm sure they do. We're going to say a player 1, player 2. What's player 1? They're actually playing Sapphire and Amber. And then player 2 over here is Mono Sapphire. Just kidding. It's a blurple strategy. Nope. This is player 2. We jumped right into the action, so you guys tell me what's going on with that Isabella Madrigal. She's over here doing stuff and things. There she is. When you play this character, if you remove 1 damage from a character this turn, you gain a lore. So she did not trigger. What else could she do? Not a lot. Not a lot. She can sit there and look real cool. As what's Pedro doing over here? He's just coming in with 2 damage. Let's see, this character, yep, when you play a character, if you have another, yep, so these things are not triggering, unfortunately, but we are watching them do blurple things, so we love to see that. As we have, is this regular blurple, or we're look at that Isabella Madrigal over there. This is a very interesting deck. We're gonna have to pull up all the Isabellas over here for everybody, just to make sure. Also, did you know that Isabella only has 1 L? That's crazy. But this is the one. I think I saw her. She might be going right down to the inkwell, but letting us know what the names are, probably. Player 1 and player 2. We're also starting the clock. Yeah, we got at this a little later than, hey, what's up? Than I wanted to, but we're jumping right into the action, because what is more stressful than just immediately shifting this Isabella on? Here we go. She is, whenever you remove a damage from one of your characters, you gain a lore, and for each damage removed. So she's a shift target. That's why we put that other Isabella up there. This is no fair. I didn't read. She has such a lovely voice, and she's a caring cultivator. So we're learning all of these Madrigal cards on our own, but she does go ahead and sing. That's like, this is actually the meanest thing that's ever happened. All right, chat. All right, chat. What song did she sing? It basically gives everything ward and ramps and does something else, but I actually have no idea what that song is called, because I've only ever looked at the enchanted version of it. What else can I do? There we go. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1. Oh yeah, it's how far I'll go and also some other stuff. These cards are hilarious. Yes, you did make that reference earlier, and we're back, you guys. Look, this is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to bring in the ability to watch actual Disney Lorcana games. Yeah, I know. We need to study. We immediately start off and have to start studying because we're just getting fried by this Madrigal deck. Sven coming in, leaping into action, and leaping her right on into the discard. So all of that is pretty much taken care of. That's kind of like, I mean, I don't know if I want to cast it or I just want to talk about it because I'm like, that's kind of like the downside to this, right? It's like you went ahead and you shifted her on top of herself, but you're not finding any of your other enablers. Peppa Madrigal is really great, but she's an Amethyst, so what are we doing to like remove damage? I suppose we could have used that the Juliettes as Arepas. I've got to like stage all these cards, you guys. Like, am I... What is this card? At the start of your turn, if you have a Madrigal character in play, remove 2 damage from chosen character. If you removed... Oh, so we needed Luisa not to sing that song, or we needed Isabella not to sing that song, so we could actually go ahead and trigger that at the beginning of our turn, and then you gain 1 more. Okay, so the singing the song kind of got us there. Luisa's into the Inkwell, and we have the Ludwig von Drake into the Dale, which is going to make challenging a little bit better for Dale, but yeah, need some damage removers. Well, we have damage on Pedro because Pedro comes in with a damage. So we love that. So that helps us a little bit. But Blurple is right about the time to do Blurple things. Now, the board is wide, but we do have a Dumbo, so we go ahead and play the 9th Wonder of the World, maybe potentially ink a card. We could activate and use the Genie to draw a card, but we have a lot of cards in hand, and you could just start getting your lore because you are ahead here. But we are going to go ahead and draw a card. See, I'm okay when it's not... did we see the hand from Ludwig? Listen, I don't think we saw much. It would have been important. But we're going to see that promo, Will-O-The-Wisp, come down. I haven't been seeing that card a lot in Blurple, but we're going to go ahead and draw for turn, potentially. Counting out our ink here. We do have the Bruno Madrigal. He says a bunch of stuff, like whenever you remove a damage, you can scry, which we don't say that in this game. We say, once during your turn, whenever you move a damage from one of your characters, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand and the other on the bottom of your deck. Whenever this character requests, you may remove all damage from chosen character. Okay. And then that kind of combos nicely because you can exert the Juliettes Arepas to gain 1. We love it. All right, so there's a lot of definitely... I mean, I haven't seen this strategy yet. It looks kind of potentially a little slow. I mean, it's definitely synergistic. It's definitely thematic. We love that. And it's going into Blurple, which Blurple kind of eats decks that are trying to do a thing. But Blurple's going pretty slow. You know, well, not anymore. Okay, so we do have the Elsa. Comes down. We're going to go ahead, exert the Pedro. Pedro is a 3/3, so that's a decent stat for a 2-costed character, but we will go ahead and challenge into it. And it already had the 1 damage on it, so it actually effectively makes it a 1/2. I had to look at it and be like, where did our Pedro go? I love that this has been a production thing for me, but then now at the same time, we're looking at a deck that I've literally seen these cards like 3 or 4 times. When I tell you the Madrigal characters were not on my radar for studying, I feel like nobody can really be that upset with me. But we are going to go ahead and ink this Elastigirl, old Mrs. Incredible, and we will quest with our Will-O-Wisp because, hey, we're at 10. And it seems like we're just... Definitely, yes, it definitely looks fun. I'd like to see it do a little bit more. It seems like the cards were kind of coming out in the wrong order. The Dale helps us, but everything is evasive, so we're not really challenging it. But hey, growing pressure comes out, and that says that you draw a card, and I'm gonna pass out here. All right, so it says that opposing character can't challenge and must quest during next turn if able and draw a card, which would be really great if our opponent wasn't already at 10. But the card draw is nice. Notably, it is a song, but we did not elect to sing it because we have a lot of ink, which is pretty good. We just need to kind of find into it. Now, we saw the Isabella earlier, and that seemed to be like our game plan. Again, I think personally, I haven't really loved this strategy just because it's really difficult to get, like, it's very difficult to get damage onto your characters in this color pairing. I typically love Amethyst with this Amber and Amethyst strategy. The Sapphire cards, I think, aren't doing enough for you. At least Peppa can put damage on everything. But hey, we're going to play Juliota's Arepas. And over the course of the next 10 turns, if we can remove a damage, then we can exert them. And they're basically Sleepy's Flutes, but for healing. But we will go ahead and pass it back over to our Blurple player over here, and they have a wide board, mainly evasives. Notably, we're not challenging that Will-o'-the-Wisp because for some silly reason, it's a 0-3, but that's okay because we are going to take a little read here of the Growing Pressure. Chosen opposing character can't challenge. It can't do it. I don't know how much challenging this stuff was going to be doing, but we might have been free and clear to quest here, considering it was going to make you quest. But at the same time, I think we're running a little low here. Cheshire Cat, Inexplicable, comes on down. We will be able to have enough to move the damage over to the Dale, I do believe. Get that kind of up and out of here. It's a little hurty, but you gave us some damage. Maybe we can do some cool stuff now because we have damage on our characters. What a pal. Looking at that and saying, hey, listen, I know that you're having a really hard time getting damage, but what if I gave you some? And then at the beginning of your turn, you can remove it with your Juliota's Arepas, yeah? And then you can exert those and you can gain 2 lore. I'm loving it. And then we can play a Daisy for the vibes. And we'll just quest. So this does look like game on board. It does kind of look like game on board. But we're going to get to do the cool thing that our deck wants to do. Holy, we're all the way up to 16. Listen. Some people bring Madrigal decks because they want to have fun. And look, we get our trigger. At the beginning of our turn, we can remove the 2 damage. And if you remove a damage this turn, you can now exert those to gain 2 lore. We'll go ahead and also get our Bruno Madrigal trigger. Once during your turn, whenever you remove a damage from one of your characters, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put one in your hand and other on the bottom. So we have even more cards in hand. And then whenever you quest, you can remove damage. But we'll probably just go ahead and maybe sing a little song. Unfortunately, it does not seem like the deck on the left here has a way to deal with the evasive characters, which it does seem as though it is oops all evasive. I think we're coming to terms with our fate, I do believe. Thinking about things. Maybe we've got like a couple more cool things we can do out of the deck right now. But we will go ahead and go a challenging. But there it is. There is our 2 lore that we gained. We earned that. I learned that. We earned that. I like how... I don't know why. You know what? There we go. And my brain just like won't update it, okay? I thought it was Blurple. I really thought it was Blurple, but you know how Amethyst decks are, where they're just like, oops, all Amethyst cards, and then all of a sudden you see their second color. Tell me what other card we saw. All right, we're gonna go ahead and scoop it up because in core, this Amethyst and Amber deck is very strong. It's very strong, even though I've been calling it Blurple the whole time. It's pretty strong. And the Madrigal deck, I'm going to be honest, I actually don't know what the Madrigal like strategy is, and if anybody could help me out with that, other than obviously the healing stuff, because we did see the Pedro. Thank you, Reginald. We did see the Pedro that came down. It put a damage on there, and then we were able to then go ahead and we played this, and then we shifted her immediately. So we actually got to do the thing because we played Pedro. He had a damage, played her. She didn't trigger. Notably, I'm not sure how many 1-drops are in the deck. It can very, very quickly. Unfortunately, when we shifted the Isabella on 4, we did opt to sing What Else Can I Do, which then left it vulnerable for challenging going forward. And of course, our Amethyst hero had the Sven waiting in the wings. So Sven came out and enacted swift and decisive banishment, and that kind of just left us with the Pedro on the board, which kind of wasn't really doing much for us. Oh yeah, turn 1 we played the Arepas. Julieta's Arepas, so we did have that down. It just, yeah. The Sven kind of messed up our entire plan, is basically what happened. So, probably looking out for that, making sure we're being aware of any rush characters that, I mean, like the one rush character, the Sven. He's kind of terrifying. Oh dear. I'm gonna do some production things here. Also, shout out to anybody that's tried to do all this at the same time before. It is wild. But like, have you guys ever been stressed out like in a fun way? That's basically what we're doing right now. All right, let's see if this Amber and Sapphire healing deck can go the distance. If we see a Grandpappy tonight, we're gonna have to tell Kim, because I think she'll be really happy. I know this is a strategy that she was really excited about, really trying to do Grandpappy things. Stressed out like playing Lurkana. Man, you know what? I learned again today for the 100th time that I love watching this game, but I am bad at playing this game. But I love it. I'll keep doing it. Just because I'm bad at it doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. But now we are on the play for Sapphire and Amber. Which, if you told me that 2 years ago that this was going to be a deck that there were multiple versions of, that you could play the control variant, you could play the princess one, Pabby in the deck. I hope Pabby's in the deck because it seems like a really cool thing to be putting in a deck with a lot of healing. I know that there's a lot of Madrigal strategies for putting Sapphire in the deck, but I think that the Amethyst and Amber version of this deck is probably stronger, but Grandpappy has to be in it as we go ahead and play the Julieta. She comes down and probably does nothing. Also, shout out to this Illumineer for really putting me through the ringer here, but when you play this character, and whenever she quests, you may remove a damage up to 1 damage from chosen character or location. So that's pretty good. We have a blurry Eilonwy on the other side, and we'll ink a Mowgli because we don't care what's in your hand. Play the Willow and do the really mean thing to follow it up with another 1-drop, which is the Eilonwy. This is the gross thing that Dogs is doing to us right now, and now this is the gross thing that Amber and Amethyst is doing to us, because again, this is core, you guys. All this stuff is legal and we're allowed to do it. But we're gonna have to think about our turn a little bit. Again, I don't know how many estimations that I can do because of course this is a strategy that I'm not really great at because I've never seen it before. Hey, I was learning. But we will go ahead and play this Isabella Madrigal. Such a lovely voice. She's a singer 5, and when you play this character, if you removed 1 or more damage from your characters this turn, gain a lore. We are going to go ahead and challenge into the Eilonwy because that is really the only thing we really need to be doing with this character. We got to get that Eilonwy off the board just because it's horrifying. And this is actually even more horrifying as we throw the Library, a gift for Belle, down onto the board. Now, thankfully, Isabella Madrigal is a 3/3, and I guess if you want to buff up your Willow and take out my Isabella, you totally can. I'm fine with that. But there is an internal panic that happens inside of me when I see a location and I need it to be removed immediately as what in the goofy is going on here, you guys? Okay. Okay, let's see. This guy is the damage Goofy. He's here. He's throwing pancakes. He is our... Oh my gosh, I can't remember this Goofy. It is the groundbreaking chef. At the end of your turn, you remove up to 1 damage from each of your other characters. Ready each character you remove damage from this way. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So we could go like that, but unfortunately, because you didn't exert anything, we won't be able to take out anything, but we'll just go ahead and put 3 damage into that library. A shout out to this Lumineer for being awesome. What do you guys think about that? This deck is so cool, and this is definitely the reason I wanted to do this, because again, we can but the thing is like you can't turn sideways there, but like taking out that library, because that internal panic always happens when I see a library, when I see a location on the board. Everything in my body tells me to rid it, to get it out of here. But we will see the Hades looking for a deal come down. We're going to look for a deal potentially on that Goofy, and our player on the left here says, nah, I need him. And so we'll draw 2 cards and pass back over. I can't wait to see what this player is going to do. Again, I've been playing Core. I've been playing Infinity. I was like in the lounge last night. We did like a whole master class with Diego, level 9 1000. Like my brain has been so competitive focused that this has been the coolest match in the world. I enjoy this game again. Bruno Madrigal, we're gonna learn his name together, you guys. It's Oasis Oracle, and we can remove damage, but we're just gonna go ahead and sing Growing Pressure, which chosen opposing character can't challenge and must quest if able. And I feel like we really want to be questing, right? We're going a little wide. We've got this location. Hopefully we've been getting our lore for that location. Maybe, maybe not. It is a mandatory trigger there with the pass it back over. Hopefully we are getting our lore. And it looks like we did miss the lore from our library. Do I just get... I can give them the lore, but do you want to see if they remember? Okay, listen. Should be a 2 lore. Should I just give them the lore? Okay, Sven, coming on out, taking care of that. I'm gonna give him the lore. Because, like, you should be a 2 lore. Because you've had it for, like, a second. I cannot communicate with the players, okay? I'm at home, and they are at the store. I'm wearing pajama pants. They're not. Okay, I shouldn't have messed with it. Because now... I probably shouldn't have messed with it. All right, keep us honest, you guys. What's going on? I shouldn't have messed with it. But we did quest, so we should be at 3. Okay. Well, I also learned a valuable lesson. Just because I have the power doesn't mean I should. Because, yeah. Yeah. All right, so just because I have power doesn't mean I should use the power. We are all learning this together, you guys, and thank you for being here. This is the first time I've ever done this, and this is harrowing. Wait, why did he draw a genie? Where'd that come from? All right, well, we're gonna take a look at the hand here with the Ludwig von Drake. See what we have going on. See if we want to sing this song. Oh no, it's a Juliet is Arepas. Of course, that's coming back out. Everybody knows this card. This is the at the start of your turn card. And we are going to go ahead and quest. No, we're just going to challenge into that. Potentially, hopefully, that library is on its last leg. Goofy, of course, only challenges for 3. So it should have 6 into it at this point. And it doesn't. It actually has less than 6. It probably just has the 3 because those dice are invisible. Listen, you guys. Whoever's here, I appreciate you endlessly. But look at this. We get to go ahead and... If you removed a damage... No, that's not how that works. What? What did we just do? What? What did we just do? Should be 3 from the Isabella, but... Let's see. the end of your turn, you may remove up to 1 damage for each of your other characters. Ready each character. Why did we draw cards? Shouldn't we just gain the lore? Oh yeah, we look. No, but why did it remove damage? Okay, so at the end of your turn, you remove the damage with Goofy, and then you... Whoever's still here, I appreciate you. Because we should have just gained the lore from the Arepas, and at the end of our turn, we would ready Bruno, and then Bruno triggers. Yeah. Yeah. No, Arepas is at the beginning of your turn. So all you do when you exert it is if you removed a damage from a character, gain a lore, and at the start of your turn, you remove 2 damage. Yeah, then no, there was no damage. I know. What is happening? That's how they fixed me interfering. Okay, well, so we are going to remove... No, Bruno, once during your turn, whenever damage is removed from one of your characters, you may look at the top 2 cards. So, put one under your hand and the other in the bottom of your deck. So, at the start of your turn, the Julietta's Arepas will trigger. He removed the 2 damage from the Bruno. The Bruno triggers, and then he looks at the top 2 cards, puts one on the bottom, and then one there. And then when he ever requests, he says, whenever this character remove all damage from chosen character. So we are literally learning this deck together because I, again, looked at these cards and went, oh, how cute. But I never actually thought about putting them into a deck. So a little bit wide here. Ignoring that good old library there, leaving her. But that we are able to go ahead and gain a lore from that. When we play this Isabella, so we're going to gain a lore from that. When you play this card and whenever she quests, you may move all damage from chosen character of yours to this character. So we'll move all that damage. And then at the end of the turn, remove all this damage, all the damage from that character. Now, Bruno only triggers once per turn. So even if we remove the damage from the Isabella, we won't get this trigger again. So I think personally, I would leave that there. But you can remove all the damage. And I don't know if I would have. I think I would have left it. And then did we quest with the... Yeah, it's only one. I was like, yep, it's only one. All right, passing back over. We're learning together, you guys. This is round 1, so literally anything can happen, but we're going to go ahead and challenge into that Ludwig von Drake, which will go ahead, put it into the Inkwell as a resource that we'll use for later. Inca Demona. And play Ohanime's family to then go ahead and draw so many cards. Yeah. A little bit of tilt coming in as we remove that dice, realizing how many cards you just drew from the Ohanime's family. Anytime I get to draw that many cards, I'm happy, but apparently our opponent is not. And again, everybody, please bear in mind, these are local games at the local game store that I'm not currently at. So if things happen, I have 0 power, but Willow comes down into a genie, and then we will quest, and that'll give us a daisy trigger, putting the Louisa, the sapphire one, into our hand. Now, I have no idea what that Louisa does, because if you guys could tell me, she is a 7-cost 5/7. When this character quests, you may move up to 3 damage from chosen character to this character. Probably inking her, but at the same time, you know, that's a big character. Especially in a game like this where it might have been a little bit long, but at the same time, we are at 9. And 9 lore with a wide board and a library that's just kind of been here since turn 3. Turn 3, which is crazy because they keep moving all of the board. I told them, I was like, hey, it'd be super cool if you stopped moving the camera because it makes me want to cry every time you do. And I think that that's a fair thing for me to be upset about. Shout out to anybody that's done any type of production because this is crazy. The reason it took so long, here you go, here's a little bit behind the scenes. The reason it took so long is because I got the board set up, I got everything even, it was literally perfect. I went and took a shower, and they had moved everything around. Literally everything. It was all moved around. But, you want a rift? Alright, we are going to ink that Louisa because it's a 7-cost crazy card, but we will play our Pedro. He is a 2-cost 3/3, and he gets a damage on him, and when you play him, you may remove up to 1 damage from him. So now he is the 3/3. He comes in. If you have another Madrigal character in play, you actually do get to remove the damage from him, but we might have opted not to do that. And we will take the Bruno in, probably getting rid of the Daisy, but I would love to see this library just go bye-bye. But the Daisy is gone. Get her out of here. This library, absolutely eternal. The board's looking a little wide. Now we are at 9 lore. It's probably why it's best to get that up off the board. I don't think these willows really matter because they're just kind of, you know, we got a lot of ink to begin with, but I definitely got to start moving here. I can see why we're probably hesitant to do anything because she has 3 lore on her, and I'm sure we would love to gain a lore. But this Isabella is able to challenge in 4/3, 3/6/9. So we are just going to quest. We are going to quest. We're going to basically say, listen, that library's cool. It was a gift for Belle. She seems like a nice girl. She should keep her library. And you can keep getting lore passively at the beginning of your turn. We do know that I'm pretty sure that player 2 has actually missed 2 of their library triggers. So they should be at 11. But my attempt to intervene backfired, so we will be omnipresent enjoyers of this game. Alright, so we're going to get a few triggers here at the end of our turn. We can choose to leave the damage. We can also choose to move all the damage to her if we want to, and then when you remove it, you can remove it. But we actually don't... Oh, we do have the... Here she is. We do! Whenever you remove a damage from one of your characters, gain 1 lore for each damage removed. So we could actually move the damage from the Pedro to the Isabella and then remove that, and we could have gained more lore, but opting to leave the damage on the Pedro, hopefully to be able to get some card filtering at the beginning of our turn. Now we are at 10 for player 2. Let's see what we're going to do this turn. And we're going to go ahead and think about it because it is a lot of lore. Like we're staring down the barrel of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lore with the potential to gain more if you were to remove the damage at the end of your turn. So you could literally, if everything sits on the board, you could just win the game. So in a sneaky way, we are presenting game on board. So actually it's getting to the point where Amber and Amethyst has to fight back a little bit, or you could just win out from under him. Okay, Dale is a good start to that. Now Elsa will challenge in with 5 strength, Jeannie challenging in with 4, and Grandmother Willow challenging in with 2, which is kind of gross. It's not what you want to be doing. But sometimes, you know, sometimes it'd be like that. And this is actually game number 1. That's crazy. Is this game number 1? Holy. No. It might be like that. If anybody's still with me, I do believe we are on game number 2. And we'll pass it back over, opting not to take anything away. So now, at the beginning of our turn, I don't think we're going to remove the damage because I think if we're removing the damage. So we will gain a lore from the Isabella. And then we can gain one. So that's one lore from the Isabella that we gained. And then, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Huh. Now, if you could stack... Let's see. He is... So Pedro could actually challenge into the Willow, get 2 damage on it. And so then... I'm trying to think of how we could stack some damage here, because if we, at the end of our turn, we could move the damage. If we challenge into the Willow, it would put 2 damage on the Pedro. And so then we could, at the end of our turn, move that damage to the Isabella to gain 2 lore from it. Oh, this is sick. Okay, Pedro's coming on in. You play him, and if you have another character, you can remove a damage from him. So you play him, and then you remove the damage from him. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Sir, move the damage. Yeah, if he challenges, he wins. But he could have just gained a lore off that Pedro immediately. When you play this character, if you have a Mondragon player, so you literally could have played Pedro, pulled the lore off of him, he would have gained 2, or he would have gained 1 from the Isabella. And then you challenge in, take that out. You put the 2 on there. You quest, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't know if he had to take the damage off the Pedro, I think, when the Pedro came in. So 11, so we'd be at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He had to take the damage off when he played the Pedro. He still wins? How does he win? Oh, because of the Arepas. Woohoo! Mirabelle coming on in. Mirabelle. She says some stuff. When you play this character, remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. Okay. We went about it the long way, and we went ahead and moved it. And the Arepa still there. We're still gaining our damage, our from there, and still at the end of the turn. So we basically got there. We'll gain 2 lore from that situation. So we should be at 13 because we just exerted the... We should be at 13. Am I wrong? We should be at 13, right? Hey, what's up? I don't think he sees it. Oh, no. Because we removed the damage. Okay, so we got it. We got there. Go 16, 17, 18, 19. And then at the end of our turn, we move the damage and heal it off. Quest for 3, move the damage with Bruno. Quest with Isabella for 2. End of turn, remove the 2 for Isabella. Yeah, that's kind of what I was like. Okay. And then you quest. Yep. And then you move the 2 down. Oh, dear. First of all, this deck is spicy. This deck is really cool. Daryl, do you have any experience with this deck? Because it looks really cool and really fun, but at the same time, I don't know if it was a slow roll or if they weren't really sure what the line was there. It looks... I mean, I am personally having trouble with this because I have never played this deck before, and I've actually only seen these characters just in theory. So watching them work together, it's like cards we don't use, and it's like, is it a slow roll if you're still having to read your own cards? Because when I went to locals here a few weeks ago, okay, it pops off, but it loses to Blurple and Dogs. I mean, like, what else? Like, what doesn't, right? Because I've been playing that toy deck, and it loses to a version of Dogs, and then it loses to Blurple just outright. So, sometimes things are hard. Okay. It looks super fun. I really love the synergy. I really love, like, obviously using cards that... This is the first time post-rotation it could have legs. Let's go. I mean, a lot of this stuff, like the 2-cost 3/3 is really nice, so you're not getting like Firefly Swarmed. A lot of the stuff is like really out of range of Firefly Swarm and Brawl. Like, I mean, like even this guy coming down, that coming down, her shift target. Like, there's this big guy. This Julieta is like really the only thing where you're like, oh man, you could put a wrench in my day if you do that. It looks a little slow. You are gonna you need Ugh, you need all the pieces, it looks like. But Isabella having 3 lore seems very good. So these players are tied up. What is happening? These players are tied up here going into game number 3, which again, when you see a Sapphire and Amber deck, you're like, But then you see a Sapphire and Amber deck where they're doing non-princess things, and you're like, So now we have our player 2. This is our Amethyst and Amber player. They are on the play. They do have a lot of very powerful cards available to them. But we got to see the Madrigal heal deck pop off. And I think I want to see that again. I'd like to see our Madrigal healing player. Let's do something. Let's do something cool. And also, shout out again if you've ever been in production and they like move things as you're trying to. But we will start off with a turn 1 Daisy. You know her. You don't actually love her. We're just stuck with her. But like not for that much longer, right? Right. Like she's gone soon. We're gonna get. Or did we reprint her? We didn't reprint her. We're gonna get this gal up out of here as we play the Julietas Arepas. We're just gonna play the What Survives Post Rotation game, I think. And do a little dreaming here as we ink and play the Will-O-The-Wisp and play the Eidolon. We are going really aggressive. I think we have recognized that this Madrigal deck wants to do stuff, but not in a timely manner. So we're potentially just gonna aggro you out. That is an option here. I don't think it's the fun option because I want to see this deck do stuff. But Pedro Madrigal coming in, he gets damage if he sees another Madrigal. He also keeps the damage if he doesn't because he's alone without his family. Damaged. As a library comes in, get the Daisy trigger. I think it was a Sapphire Madrigal card. Which one that was, who knows? But at the same time, we will go ahead and turn it all sideways, throwing down that library. Now, we did mention before, a lot of these characters are not small. So if we just throw down, like we throw down the Isabella, we throw down the shift one, we will be able to take out this library pretty easily. The Eidolon might cause problems for us. And again, oh, not that one. So we gain a lore, but when we play this Julieta, remember her, guys? Did she get reprinted? Oh, that's right. We got a Julieta reprinted here, you guys. When she comes down, you are able to draw a card if you removed a damage. This card stinks, but it's okay because you get to draw a card, and she is a 1/4, which is kind of why she's not the best, but we did go ahead, challenge, take out the Eilonwy. That Eilonwy is a problem. Get rid of her. And now your Daisy can challenge in if you'd like. Now that would give Ohana value, and we saw that happen last turn, but we're going to go ahead and play the Junior Woodchucks Guidebook, pop it, draw a couple cards, see what we can do here, and make sure that we do gain our lore for our library. You guys. Womp, 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 womp. Somehow they keep flopping back and forth, but it's okay. That's why I don't have it locked down. Why are we at 9? Oh, we're at 9? How are we? All right, sick. We're at 9 over here, which is egregious, but the little things they don't tell you about production. It's crazy. Well, all right, we'll go ahead and play Goofy. He's back. He's a groundbreaking chef, and at the end of your turn, you can go ahead and remove a damage and then ready each character that you removed a damage from this way. So you can actually double challenge into that library and then go ahead, remove the damage, and we'll go get rid of that Daisy, opting to get that off of the board. Again, Julieta only has 1 strength, so she's not really doing a whole lot here, unfortunately. If Dale comes down, yeah, but a really cool thing is we get to pass our turn, take the damage off of those 2 characters, and then ready them thanks to Goofy. So that's actually really good here, but a Dale would make this Julieta be a little less terrible. God, I remember just like playing her and then she'd get brawled. And you're like, ah! But again, this is core, you guys. This is a different format. All right, we will go ahead and ink, and then we'll get a reduction of 1. And thank goodness we have that Goofy in, because Sven's leaping in here and was going to cause problems, but now he just kind of gets to leap in and do a whole lot of nothing. So he's evasive, challenger, rush, but he's rushing in to do literally nothing. But we will go ahead and exert the Will-o'-the-Wisp, get a little quest in, because we are at 11. So I'm not quite sure the amount of removal this deck has available to us. Again, we will be able to get rid of this library in one fell swoop. We won't be able to challenge in and get any damage onto our characters, which will not enable any of the strategy that we have. So I think this is why I enjoyed having the Amethyst enablers with the damage. Maybe you can exert your the other person's characters and challenge into them and start getting that value. But as it stands, if you just wanted to kind of sit here, quest with Will-o'-the-Wisp, and then leave your library on the board, I'm not really doing much for my strategy as we kind of sit here and think of our ink for a little bit. Wonder what it could be. It's probably going to be inkable. That is the bare minimum. Okay. Julieta into that inkwell as we go ahead and play another Pedro. This is pretty good. Getting this damage on here, that way it enables the strategy that I was talking about. I mean, it immediately was like, hey, I know that you said that there's not a lot of damage enables, but what about this Pedro? He's kind of doing work. But we will take him in. Again, if we challenge into that Will-o'-the-Wisp, it will go right back into your hand. It was one of the most annoying cards ever, but I think we have to really get after this library at some point. Now, Goofy himself only has 3 strength, and so we will only be able to do a total of 7 to that library, but we can scare this Will-o'-the-Wisp, get it on out of here. It's very flavorful. Go for a little bit of a quest and try to go wide here. We will lose something. Probably the Julieta, maybe the Pedro, but I don't think at this point matters. We should, yep, we had the damage that was on the Pedro, so we went ahead and removed it. I don't know if I would have, you said you may remove the damage. I think I might have left the damage on the Pedro, but I guess we were valuing the lore from the Arepas over there. Again, it really feels like damage is so precious with this deck. Like, if you're not damaging and hanging out, then you're not doing anything. So, another library. That is pain. Oh, and you will probably go ahead and challenge into one of these things as we see another Dumbo, Ninth Wonder of the World, coming on down. I don't even want to pull this card up because, listen, I've seen it 1,000 times, but somebody want to tell me the price on this Dumbo? Is it affordable yet? Can I play Amethyst again? All right, we will get that trigger as we pay 1 to gain 1 lore and draw a card off of the Sven because he is also evasive. So we're staring down the barrel of you being at 14 with 2 libraries. And Isabella comes on out. Now, we don't have a lot of damage. We don't have evasives. We don't have a way to get after any of these characters except for the Grandmother Willow. We will be able to take that out pretty cleanly. And the Sven is evasive, so we won't be able to do anything about that, but we will go ahead and hit that Grandmother Willow. 1 damage on there. Hopefully we can band everybody together and take out one of these libraries, I think. probably, you know, I don't know, left or right, you guys. Pick your favorite library and see which one you want to put into the discard pile. I think this was the thing that I was absolutely terrified of, is when you have a situation where these locations have just been sitting on the board for so long. One lore at the beginning of your turn doesn't really feel like a lot, especially if he's trying to keep up with this Julietta's Arepas, kind of like a Sleepy Sleuth situation. But after a while, and especially when there's two of them, it really begins to be quite an issue. So, yeah, no removal going in here. We will be able to double challenge, but we have to do that with all three of those characters because we do have, so even with that, we'll have 14, 15, 16, 17 lore onto the board. If we go ahead and take out that library right here, with the Dumbo being the way that it is, you'll be able to draw kind of infinite cards, unfortunately. But it looks like we're just gonna quest and loot. All right. I mean, hey, listen, we're questing. We're gaining a lore from, now I guess we're gaining a lore from that, and then we're saying at the end of it, we'll go ahead and ready him, take the lore off that, gain a lore from the Isabella, and we're at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So unless we have a way, this is very interesting. Now we don't know what they have in hand. They have probably about 2 minutes left on the clock. Well, we got a little quick flash of it there. So I guess we'll let player 2 will go up to 18 here, or well 17. Go 17, 18, oh, yeah, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Like you could quest to 19 and play a character, but then I think you're probably safer if you maybe clear the board a little bit here. Because if you're clearing the board, then all of this damage shenanigans stuff can't necessarily happen. And again, you can't really, we'll go ahead and play the Demona down, exert all of our characters. Now you will be able to challenge into the, challenge in with a Sven into the Isabella to kind of get rid of any ability to do some shenanigans. She is a 5 willpower character, so Sven is actually just gonna go on a little bit of a Dumbo trigger. We'll draw a card, and then nope, we will go ahead and take away any chance that you have for doing any kind of silly shenanigans there, as we do. That Demona came down and was very decisive, getting us all the way up to 17. Now, can we slam another? There's no way to get damage on our characters that I can think of. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We would have had to gain 5 lore out of nowhere. You could play another Isabella, but again, you can't really get the damage onto these characters. We have quite a bit of lore available to us. That's why that Peppa Madrigal is really cool, because in Amethyst you could go ahead, play her, it puts a damage on every single one of your characters, and then at the end you move it and then remove it. Yeah. Well, he doesn't have Peppa. He's playing Peppa's in Amethyst, so he needed the Isabella to live, and unfortunately everything is evasive, so he wasn't going to be able to get, he does have another Pedro, which would have only really gained him 1 lore. And this has to be just about time in the round. And I did say it was 50 minutes, so it might be a 55-minute round just because it's locals, but we'll see what's going on here. He needs Horseman Strikes. Yeah, I think so. But I mean, at this point, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You got to get World's Greatest and World's Greatest Horseman Strikes. Yeah, his opponent, I really did like that Demona, and then having it exert the the Isabella, like, no matter what's in your hand, you really needed her to stick around to be able to do some fancy things, because I definitely saw it at the last minute, but we will go ahead and hard play this. What else can I do? Look at the top two cards. Oh, that would have been a beautiful card to try to play last time, because that could have actually stopped. Well, no, it wouldn't have stopped the Demona, because that gets around Ward. Boo! This is the smaller Julieta. When you play this character and whenever she quests, you may remove damage, but there wasn't any damage to remove. So I think at this point we are just kind of going through the motions. And we're just going to quest out here. Oh, it goes to the ink? No. Oh yeah, it does go to the inkwell because it is a how far I'll go. So, well, there is also the Bruno. So the handshake goes out there as we do go on to player 2, getting it there, getting the win with this Amber and Amethyst strategy. All right, you guys, listen. Whoops. I don't know if I'm here or not. Hi, what's up? Okay, we are. Oh, we're doing work out here. Is Humble there? Are they even there? I hope that would be very lovely if they are. But yep. Oh, he said he was going sick. Yeah, that's I mean, this is the very, very first time I've ever done this. Never ever in my life have I decided that I was going to run production like this. I mean, I did it on site and it almost killed me. So, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. Now we get to reset all this stuff. And that was game number 3. So I think, you know, the players are probably just like sitting there and talking about their feelings, talking about, I don't know, everything in between. But how are you guys doing? It is Friday night. And I turned my monitor off. Oh no! Oh god. Well, that was fun. That's not it. So now we'll be going into round number 2 when this gets going again. Hopefully we can get Humble up there. I think that'd be really neat. I don't know if I can get here with production. Oh. Okay, cool. We are. I was like, can we get Humble next round? And they were like, okay, bet. So it does look like that Humble will be up here next. So I think they are actually going into the next round. So we'll just head on over and see if they've touched anything. And they haven't. So it looks like, I'm going to guess. We're taking a guess here. Who do you think? I think maybe this potentially could be Humble. It might be. So we're going to guess here. And I think it was wrong. And Josh is on the other side here. So I think I saw a Tipo in their deck because when they were shuffling, they showed their hand to the camera. And so let's see if this is Humble. All right. Josh and Humble. Starting us off here. Yep, I was correct. And we'll take a little bit. I know I saw Sapphire over here. And I'm assuming this is what we're doing over here. Because what else would we be doing, right? What else would we be doing? All right. So I'm just gonna pretend like the round is up. Doing our altars here again. You were like, he said he was gonna be there. Is that Dr. Lore? Yeah. He said his name was Josh. Humble's going down. He's saying in the chat. All right, all right. Doing our altars here again. I did not get to see that. We are flying by the seat of our pants here. So, you know, whatever happens, happens. But I have faith. As we hink and pass. Nope, just kidding. We slow rolled the Woody there. We have it. Do we have the actual the deck that wants to open here as we ink this Basil? I do believe so. We might see a little bit of Emerald and Sapphire going on down with the Clarabelle on turn 1, inking the Janie Pterodactyl doll into this ham. This is not the bullseye that we wanted, but it is still very strong of a start. So ink the Prince Philip, playing down the Tipo, getting some ramp. This is not a super fun matchup for the Toys deck. Stop. Do not ready your ink, but we all gotta go ahead and shift the promo Woody Jungle Guide quest for 2, draw a card, and it does not seem that we have. Do we have a 2-drop to play? Rex would be a lovely option in this spot, but another ham isn't that bad. Now we do have the option to quest with the ham or get the reduction, but it does seem like we'll go ahead and quest as these Illumineers keep switching their lore trackers, and it's only driving me a little insane, you guys, like just a tiny bit, because what are we doing? But we'll go ahead and pass back over. Ink a, oh my gosh, ink that card. That's what you like to see, unless they have another one. Unless they have another one. No. Not sure what. Oh, we played a Cinderella, inked a turn, and then went. So lore went up on the wrong side. Yep, I had to switch it. Thank you. Oh, that's a really good one. But we are going to go ahead and play the Horseman. You called it. You saw it. Getting that Clarabelle out of here, making sure that you do not have that shift target available to us. And that board is wide. We have our Horseman, our Dinosaur, our Toy Cowboy, and 2 pigs. All right. Vision of the Future to start this off. Again, this is not a great matchup for Humble typically on the Toys deck, but at the same time, he is probably, if anybody's going to navigate this matchup decently, it's probably going to be Humble. Again, shout out to him for this toy deck, and also shout out to Josh for the stream here. I do believe Dr. Lore is the one that is helping us make this happen. So pretty cool to see here, as we're going to go ahead and you're welcome. Not singing it, not exerting this Cinderella, keeping her around for a later use, potentially nothing in our hand that we would have been able to get that value out of, or opting to use Tipo and her to challenge in. We are going to have to challenge into the Rex to get rid of him. He does have Bodyguard that will gain us a lore. Something decided that we didn't want to do that, but it will gain us a lore. Maybe that is why we opted not to, letting you keep your Rex, but that is not great. Rex has 2 because of the Woody, the secret text on Woody that does give Toys characters +1 willpower, which is literally something I forget always. As we go ahead and quest, play a Woody for free after drawing a card, because my goodness, bullseye into the inkwell. We'll go ahead and cost reduction. And Sid, are we about to see a Sid? Nope, we're just going to see another Horseman to take out this Cinderella and immediately go questing here. Ham didn't need to reduce anything. We just went. You did call it. That was their second Horseman. Terror of Sleepy Hollow, going in and being able to banish a character of 2 strength. And we're just going to go to next. We're just going to go next, because what you've done here is called... it's a lot. It's a lot, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. So go ahead, go to the next game. You did too much. Too much, too soon. We looked away for a second. You just spilled the whole entire toy box onto the ground there, and it's not fair. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Yeah, toys is this deck is very fun when it works. Man, when it works, woo! But like when it doesn't, it's so sad. It's a really sad time. All right. Shuffling it on up. That's not the that's what is happening here? Why? All right. Gonna figure out OBS at some point, but this matchup I thought was really bad for Emerald and Sapphires. We get a little riffle shuffle there, making sure we're randomizing our cards, but it does seem like Humble kind of has Josh's number. So being on the play, we will have a little bit more advantage to our game plan, being able to ramp down and potentially not have our Clarabelle Horseman into oblivion. Getting that out of turn sooner will probably help us quite a bit. And he said, "You're good. I don't need you. I'm not going to cut your deck. We're good to go." And we'll ink a sail to play that Clarabelle. Now, again, Humble's deck will need to have that Horseman to break up that shift line. There's not a lot of other things that will be able to remove that character unless we shift that Woody and play Grab Your Bow, which is kind of gross when that actually works out. But we will sail, get that. Get that into the inkwell, get that into the inkwell. We've double sailed that into the inkwell. That's a cool little hand marker chip thing. As we actually, this is the worst timeline. We will have to actually pay the full value for our frog here, our little wind up frog. Our little wind up frog coming in and not doing a whole lot, unfortunately. But look how cute it is. As we see a Cinderella Dreams come true, come in, do her thing, you'll be able to put a card into the inkwell at the end of your turn because she is a princess and she did see herself be a princess. So you get that. We will go ahead and quest for 2 after shifting that Woody Jungle Guide onto himself and be able to then hopefully play a 2-cost or less character out of our hand if we have one. I have played this deck so many times, and a lot of times we don't, but we do, and it's a Rex, which is the perfect follow-up for this Woody quest because it's going to protect the Woody from any shenanigans coming in. It's a 3/1 bodyguard that whenever it gets banished, you get to gain a lore, which seems pretty sick when you play it for free, even though we had to play the full value for that frog. But we will go ahead and Under the Sea, which is going to take everything absolutely, except for that Rex, under your deck. Getting rid of your shift, getting rid of your frog that did next to nothing, except for look really cute. Look how handsome he is. Look at that frog. But now we have the Clarabelle shift on the other side, along with that Cindy. We will go ahead and play out our hand, which was a double ham hand, and another free frog. Another, was it a free frog? It was a free frog because the toy was banished this turn. And now I can't see how many cards they have in hand. Humble is probably doing his best to make sure that Clarabelle's not getting a ton of value, but unfortunately, Prince Philip comes down. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. This guy will be rotated out soon. He'll be rotated out so soon, and then we won't have to deal with this nonsense because the other shift target is horrible. But we are going to go ahead and hard play your welcome on to old Ham there, putting him into the deck, shuffling and drawing 2, which is going to give Humble 3 cards total. And Josh will be able to draw a card at the end of their turn. because they look like they have the 2 in hand. Josh saying, please don't make me cut your deck. Just let's go. I respect it. These players are also very, very, very good friends. And if Humble is doing anything that would mean that you'd have to cut the deck, then they can just duke it out in the parking lot. But we will go ahead and play this Woody. It's another Woody. It's the worst card in the deck. We hate him, but he is important. Because he says whenever you play him, you can look at the top 4 cards of your deck and put a toy character or location, name of Andy's room, in your hand and put the red bottom of the back. He's basically like Ariel Spectacular Singer for toys. But we will go ahead and... Did we sing this? Or did we ink that song? Oh, he inked it. Man, that's like the best song in the deck. You got a friend in the inkwell. As we are going to wonder, are you just going to sing Malicious, Mean, and Scary and shift it? Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Let us play with the toys. And we're actually going to play a John Silver here, giving Reckless probably to the Woody, just in case you want to shift him and not get that ability from old Jungle Guide Woody, which is rude, but fair. John Silver coming in at a 5/5 and being able to give Reckless when he quests and when he makes his appearance onto the scene. Seeing another one go into the inkwell. Now, are we just gonna... We have enough ink to where we probably just go ahead and play the Prince Philip so we can get rid of that handsome little toy frog. Get him up on out of here because Humble is at 7 lore and Josh is at 4. I do believe that that's how that went for some round. So we'll go ahead and hand in a box, which has Baby Head. Come on out. World's Cup. Okay, all right. So Baby Head. Shout out to the weird cards that have made me say the weirdest things. Look at this little Nightmare Fuel. Baby, whenever you play 2 or less card for a card, the chosen character gets +2. And during your turn, whenever the start is banished, you can draw a card. So we're going to draw off a Baby Head because we did a lot of cleanup here with the Woody and the Della's Moon Lullaby, drawing cards, buffing things up, making things happen. So Woody being a 7/4 is insane. It's a lot, but we did it. And now Ham does get around Reckless, which is actually pretty good, but we are now -4 onto this John Silver. He will quest, but he is a 1/5 because of the 2 Dellas that has happened here. You guys are talking sports in the chat, and I don't know what you mean, but here we go. Cinderella Dreams Come True coming on down. It is a foil, Cindy, so shout out to that. Shout out to all my foil-loving friends. As we try to sit here and wonder, we have a lot of cards in hand on Humble's side. This deck can really power out a lot of huge things here. Now, thinking about this John Silver, it is a 1/5 at the moment, so challenging it is not what it wants to do, but it doesn't have Reckless, so it can continue to give Reckless. It can quest if it needs to, which will put us up to 6 lore. And it seems as though we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn. He pops all the way back up to a 5/5. I would assuming a Sid would be my next plan, but we will go ahead and play the Horseman onto the Cinderella. Potentially Josh seeing that line and saying, hey, if I exert my John Silver and then you just play something, you're going to be able to buff it up with Baby Head, or you have the the Horseman to be able to do really kind of anything, as we get a 1 cost reduction from our Ham here to play the Jessie. Again, this board is looking very wide, so hopefully we have a way to get a board wipe of some sort up on out of here, because we are presenting 14 lore, and then if you get to 14 with this toys deck, with that many toys on the board, you can play Sid and just sort of win. Sid being able to banish a toy when it comes into play, making your opponent banish something, and then you gain 2 lore for each toy banished on your turn. But Clarabelle is coming down. Looking real Prince Philipable, as I do tend to agree, but we got to get there first. Unfortunately, I don't know if we have enough ink to be able to play a Prince Philip outright. We haven't been inking that aggressively. We did have a few Cindy triggers on our turn. But Humble is going to be able to start their turn with all of their characters active, ready, and willing to do whatever they want, like Jesse questing and being able to draw a card if you have 2 or more toy characters on the board. And it turns out we have quite a few on the board. But like, look at this Enchanted. This sucker was $1,000 the other day, but and it is like a 3/3. But hey, there is that promo. Humble, let me get that promo. Let me get at that non-foil Woody Jungle Guide promo, as we are just actually going to ship everything on a hefty quest here, going all the way up to 13. We just got to hope and pray. That is a really good point. Now, if you got it, you got it. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ink. All right. Do you have it? Do you have exactly Malicious Mean and Scary into that Prince Philip? You got to believe if you had it, you'd already be slamming it. Just for the drama. Now, Babyhead does not work. It only works on your turn. It does not work on your opponent's turn. So even if we were to pop the entire board with, say, Sid out or with this Babyhead out, you do not get triggers. The same with the Pterodactyl Janie doll. She doesn't work on your opponent's turn. This stuff, Sid is a monster, and he says, hey, if you're going to be banishing toys, I'm the one that has to do it for it to matter, which is really messed up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel as though if we had it, we are going to go ahead and quest, but we are going to play You're Welcome onto our little thing there. Going ahead, you got one chance here to find it, it seems. He's digging. Being able to sing You're Welcome to draw 2 cards deeper into your deck is not what you want to do, but sometimes you gotta. You gotta if you want to find it. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to say Malicious Mean and Scary off the top. Did we find it? Did we just get 2-0'd by Humble's toy deck on stream? But we have a Hades coming on in for 7 ink. Oh, no. Coming in for 7 ink there. Now we will be able to take out a few more things, but unfortunately, yep, that's not really going to do much good for us there. Of course, that ham would have been able to reduce the cost of something, but we have so many characters on the board. And now, with your exerted characters, if you just play Sid and challenge into the Clarabelle and the... Like, Sid just wins. We'll go from 13 to, 30 lore. So... This is actually the really scary thing about this toy deck, is if you are trying to challenge in and that's your way of getting rid of stuff, you can't exert your characters in the face of this, because if you do, you give them a way to banish their toys. If you're not exerting, it's such a really cool push and pull with this deck, because you kind of have to. Now, I'm assuming he doesn't have it. Now, he could have just drawn it. Now we will go ahead and play that. We're going to trigger Babyhead to give something plus value. We'll go ahead and trigger Jesse to also give something minus value, because whenever you play something for 2 or less, it triggers both things. So we buffed up that. Went ahead, triggered the Babyhead, draw a card. I think we're still digging for that Sid. At literally any point, we have to have it. And if we do, we just win. Now this board again, if we don't win this turn, it gives them another shot to look for that Malicious Mean and Scary combo, but we have been drawing cards with Babyhead this entire time. So we are going to play the Bullseye. Looks like we don't have it either. But Bullseye will then go ahead and make Hades a -1 on John Silver, -1 on Hades. Because, again, we were playing that for minus, so we'll minus the John Silver again, playing a free hand in the box. Oh, we're just going to go all in. But now we can actually just go ahead and get rid of the Hades with his Headless Horseman here and quest on out. Now, basically, we're not going to quest, actually. We're just going to say, hope you have it. We have 1 card in hand and the fullest board possible. We didn't have Sid. Basically, we have one shot. We have one shot to get to that Prince Philip. I don't know how many we've inked. I don't know if we've seen them off of visions and we keep bottoming them. And we just had the combo anyway. It doesn't matter. Oof. Ooh. Whoa. Got him. Absolutely took that out. You should have, and you were correct. Singing, being able to take out that. Yep. All of it. The thing was, Babyhead only triggers on your turn, but we do have the Woody to follow up into the frog here. We are at 16, so that means that you are going to have to do that forever and ever and ever. Again, the frog has 2 lore, and I feel like he's been the star today, or maybe I just think he's really cute, but we will Hades onto that Woody there, and we will be free and clear to quest with the Prince Philip, go up to a quest with the John Silver, give your little frog Reckless, and move on from there. We will challenge in and play the Woody, putting the 2 damage onto the John Silver, because eventually we have to get it on up out of here, but we do have the Ducky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a free Ducky. Put all those characters on the bottom of your deck. I like to call him Churnaduck. Take that with you on your travels. But we are presenting 1920, so we have to have an answer here. And one of the answers is John Silver, so that sucks. So you can stop the Woody from questing, stop the Woody from doing any more playing free shenanigans. We will play a Prince Philip out. It is warded with 3 lore on it. We'll go ahead on a hefty quest, giving Reckless to the Woody, making sure you can't do anything crazy. Now we are at 17. If Humble has a Be Prepared in their deck, he's cheating. If he has a Sid, he wins. Is it a Sid? Did he get the Sid off the top of the deck? He's going a little slow here. That's why we put the Be Our Guest in there, because everything else bottoms it. Did he grab the Sid? It's a baby head. No! No! We will be able to play the baby head and potentially draw a card, but we don't have, even if we were to be able to do anything about this, is we will go ahead and challenge in and do 1 more damage to that. And we're going to scoop it up. Okay. Okay, that was crazy. Not finding the Sid. We needed him. Where were you, my dude? We had won that game 6 times over if we could have found that Sid. Okay. All right, we're going to take some deep breaths. We're going to shuffle up. Again, this is locals here in the Tampa Bay area. This is Humble against Dr. Lore. Josh over here doxing himself with this. This is now going into game number 3, which we always love that. Not taking out the John Silver was rough. That did leave the singer on the board when he was able to sing the Malicious, Mean, and Scary, and then go ahead and play the Prince Philip outright, being able to clear the board. Now, again, we saw Humble being on the play. We'll be able to get maybe he'll get Blessed, because, again, this deck is so reminiscent of that Diablo strategy, where if you can get Woody into Bullseye, into Sing, You Got a Friend in Me, into shifting Woody, into, like, it just feels unbeatable. But if you don't get that shift Woody, the deck is, like, slower, and it absolutely can burst lore at the very end, especially if you find the Sid. But again, you have to find the Sid, and we didn't actually do that. And I don't know if you guys are still with me, if you guys are out there, but this is core. Is anybody else having actual fun right now? Like, I have been so strangleholded by Infinity. I'm fine. We're not going to get into my trauma with this, but I'm having a ton of fun with this deck. I mean, I'm watching Emerald and Sapphire, and I got excited about a Malicious, Mean, and Scary Prince Philip combo. That's crazy. That's how you know you've been abused by a certain franchise. You know what I mean, you guys? I can't be alone out there about this. But we are going to shuffle it up. Again, these 2 are from the Tampa Bay area. This is our locals, and we are going to start with the Woody. We're going to start with the Woody and see if we can get the absolute... Is there like a Disney-friendly way of saying the nuts? Can you guys help me out with that? All right. We are going to go ahead and play the Basil, which is a really good way to make sure that Woody's not going to be trying to get any free lore off of us, but we will ink that. You got a friend in me to play the Rex, which if it does get banished by the Basil, it will gain you a lore. But Tipo coming down, making sure we get our ramp, inking out a Basil, inking another super secret card. That'll be a special tool that we use for later. Now, do we have it? Shift in the Woody. I never have it, but Humble has it. Questing for 2, drawing a card, and being able to play a 2-cost or less character, which a ham is pretty good. This is a really amazing start for this deck because, of course, that Rex with Bodyguard is going to make sure that you can't just go here. But wow, oh my gosh. Okay, so we just shifted the Basil and then immediately sang Under the Sea. That's insane work. Okay, Basil coming on in. Wow. Nobody's even playing this Basil anymore. But you know what? Josh is. Josh said, what if I just get this out on the board and we follow it up with the Jesse over here from Humble, as I just tried to remember what happened. But during your turn, whenever a card is put in your inkwell, you may pay 1 to have chosen opponent discard a card. This is going to be insane. As Ghost of Christmas Future comes on down, we challenge into the Rex getting rid of it. We will gain a lore, playing out the Woody. I don't remember what this Woody's called. Woody, I hate you. You're a 4-cost in my deck, but you're a 3/4, and you're kind of doing work. That's what that Woody's called, actually. Leader of the Toys coming on down. This is crazy. Josh just did some stuff. Humble, oh man, if it's not a stream game for Humble that he's getting cooked by, what else is there? We are going to go ahead and boost the Pete. Quest for 1. Look at the top card of our deck because there's 1 card under it and get to put it in our hand. And as we boost this Pete, it's going to come better and better. But we are... well, wait a minute. So now, because of the Basil, do your turn, whatever your party card is put in your hand, you would chosen opponent, choose and discard a card. So he just slams that Jungle Guide into the discard. Humble, along with everybody else, hates discard, but it is a perfect counter for when you are drawing tons of card and gaining a bunch of value. But we play the Baby Head down, and the Baby Head will be able to let us draw a card when we run our Woody into this Pete, doing 3 damage, but also drawing that and buffing up the Jesse. So now we will be able to take out, we 2 for 1 ourselves, but we did draw 2 cards. So basically with Baby Head out, it is replacing the cards in your hand as they challenge in and get rid of it. Now this Basil is a problem, but here we go. Our frog friend is back because of our character was banished this turn. So you are able to go ahead and play him for free. So this deck is really cool because you're able to play a lot of things for free, which, hey, free is good. But even though you're challenging, the cards are replacing themselves. The things are playing themselves for free. You're getting board presence. Like, the amount of synergy in what this deck does is shocking. Like, it's actually shocking, really. Because of where we started in set 1, moving into the amount of resources and card draw and synergies, and now in set 12, help us. But now we're just playing some characters like Basil down. Potentially not even inking, not getting that trigger. So that was a little bit of a slow turn for Josh here. We don't have high on ink, but we will go ahead and play the Horseman, Terror of Sleepy Hollow onto that Basil, getting that out of here. We don't have a ton of ink. We did have to go really low on resources to get that Under the Sea Basil combo. Getting a little bit of a quest in here from the Wind-Up Frog. 2 lore for a free character. Can't be bad. But hey, we got another little Prince Philip out of here. We will be able to challenge in getting rid of that little frog. He did enough work. Now again, Baby Head only triggers on your turn. So you don't really want to have anything exerted that you can start doing shenanigans with. But you got a friend in me, sang by the Headless Horseman, which I don't know how the Headless Horseman would be able to sing. And if he did, I think it would probably sound terrible. But he did. And we went ahead and threw a Sid to the bottom. And a bunch of other toys. But you do look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and you actually get to pick 2 toys out. So You Got a Friend of Me is a bananas card in this deck. But we're going to ink a Tipo and make you discard that card that you just drew, which is we got the Horseman out of here. I think Josh is really favoring that discard strategy of that Basil, but I think Basil's going to have to go do something soon. The Horseman's thinking about friends, but we are going to go ahead and figure out what we want to do here. Think about it for a second. I think we are going to go ahead and play the Duckies. Churn it up, coming down, putting all of the toys out of your discard onto the bottom of your deck, and getting a quest off with the hand in the box. Hummel doing an excellent job of being able to... Oh, there we go. We're going to play the Bullseye. Being able to go wide, being able to rebuild this board, and Basil coming on down. He is still a discard boy, but at the same time, you will be able to challenge into that Horseman, and we aren't inking. We're not really able to get a lot of value out of this, but we will be able to challenge in and get the draw off of the baby head. Notably, we aren't inking a lot, but hey, you got a friend in me to grab 2 more toys, which that Pterodactyl Janie doll can be a menace. Of course, Rex has Bodyguard. He gains allure when he banishes. If we get a Sid, we are looking real good. So the only thing that I think I'm worried... Oh! Judge! Okay, we're fine. Lore Guide, my opponent did some sloppy stuff. So really, Josh's only out here is to sing Malicious, Mean, and Scary and shift Prince Philip. And I don't know if we are even on 6 ink. I think we're just out of here. As we are looking at our hand, it's a little low. We haven't been inking. Do we even 1, 3, 6, 7? Nope. And I don't think we've got it, and I don't think we have a way to go get it. So I think we just lose here. Unfortunately, is this it? You don't got it. As we play the Pete. So we're going to have to do some challenging here. Unfortunately, it's going to gain you allure. Malicious, Mean, and Scary. Hold up. And that does get rid of those 2 toys. Now, we will have the 13 left on the board if you want to go ahead and challenge in, but we will just boost the Pete. Now, if you play a Sid here, the game is over, as we are going to go ahead and think about our turn a little bit here. And, I don't know, we're doing a lot of stuff, but we'll do the hand in the box thing to put that out for free. So we have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18... drawing some cards, trying to get more value off this baby head, taking everything for a quest, making sure you can't do any more shenanigans with that Basil, playing the Rex, which will gain us allure no matter what, even if you play the Malicious, Mean, and Scary, but you played it last turn. 16. You gotta be able. 7. You have to have at least. Now we are going to boost the Pete, take it for a quest, making sure we have enough ink to where we would shift the Prince Philip if we found it off of this quest from the Pete. Go ahead and slam whatever that card was. We got to look at the top 2. Is it what we need? This deck can fail us so many times, counting it. So we're going to play a Prince John to get the lore for the Rex and the other character. I don't know if he did, actually. You don't get the lore on your turn, though. Oh, but you do. Yeah, you do. You get it. When that... Nope. It's the Pterodactyl Janie doll gets it on your turn, but Rex always gets it. But it is quite over. We needed the Pete to find it, and it wasn't there. It didn't exist. It's not even there. Ah, well. As it actually did go to game 3. So look at that. Humble going on to the next round. Look at that. And we're back. Yeah. Rex is during their turn. Yeah, Janie, the Pterodactyl Janie doll is daring. So like baby head, Sid, Pterodactyl Janie doll is basically going to be on your turn, and then Rex is just like in general, like just if he gets a little too perceived too much, he still gets that lore. But is Josh playing Visions? I don't know. I would assume that he is, but he is also playing Pete, so I'm wondering if potentially we had the Pete replacing the Visions. But very interesting games there. As we're gonna go ahead and reset all this stuff. We're resetting. So I was like playing that toy deck, and it definitely takes a little bit to navigate through, because unfortunately it's you get in this situation where um it just hurts to play. And Josh did brick late game. He absolutely did. He was trying to look for his answers. He kind of went all in on that shift Basil strategy, and then just unfortunately didn't have a way to build back up after that. And I think what ends up happening is the toy deck is very relentless. You are able to continuously establish threat after threat after threat. Everything in the deck draws a card. Bye. Good to see you. Everything in the deck draws a card. Everything enables you to continuously add more and more pressure. So, unfortunately, even though we under the seed early, all my cards draw cards, and it is a really relentless strategy. Again, if anybody is going to be able to navigate the Emerald and Sapphire strategy, it's probably going to be Humble. So he's put a lot of reps on the deck. He has actually even, wrote a guide and did a lot of stuff with it. So this is the deck that he believes is going to be very, very rotation proof. You're not really losing anything out of the deck, I think. So I think that there's a lot of advantage to playing a deck like this, where you're not a key piece of your strategy is not going to just go away all of a sudden. Because let me tell you, after rotation last time, I was so displaced that it took me, I went from being a Ruby Sapphire and Amber Steel player, Ruby Sapphire and Ruby Amethyst player, to being an Amber Steel player that I had to it was awful. I hated it. It was not my favorite thing. So I kind of like the idea of leaning into a deck that is rotation proof, at least for core, at least for this last month, because that means that by the time we're done with Indianapolis, people like Humble have already had so many reps on this deck, and I can only imagine the toys that come out in Attack of the Vine are just going to make this deck even better. So it might get slapped down by Blurple, but Blurple's not going to exist soon. And I think it's probably Amber Emerald Toys is going to be its only like natural predator going forward. So I don't know. I like taking a look at this stuff. I think I've played 3 games of Chords since Wild release. Yeah, that's the thing, is like I actually casted a core tournament. It was Willoughby's and I down in Orlando at Versus. And then the next day in Tampa. So it was like 2 core tournaments, and everybody was just kind of like playing, like it was the beginning of the format, right? Like nothing cool had happened yet. And then immediately everything's about Indy, because everybody's going to Dortmund and everybody's going, the DLC is literally next week for Indy. So I feel like I've just been staring at Infinity cards for so long. And we're finally getting to the point where anything can happen. But the Madrigal deck that we saw round 1 was insane. And shout out to that player for, kind of trying something a little bit different, which it did seem very powerful. And I don't know, like decks with that kind of reach is interesting. Sid being like that same kind of strategy, to where like if you're doing something that's like a little bit weaker at the beginning, like it's almost like that dime, but you're like, oh, I'm just going to play Sid and win the game, or I'm just going to play dime and win, or I'll play Isabella and win. And so it's very interesting to me that we have a lot of decks that might sacrifice a little bit in the early game to then, burst out at the very late game and do something kind of interesting. Yep, so see, I don't know if I'm taking dogs or Diablo to Indy, and then Linger Dingers for a core event because it's fun. Yeah, I was like, don't play that in the main event. That's insane. I mean, Diablo's pretty good. I would just take the deck that you are most comfortable with. Just take the deck that you are most comfortable with. So that's probably your best bet. But it goes into, that was round 2. So there are only 3 rounds tonight. So we will be getting into round 3 pretty soon here. I'm very excited to see kind of like the last little bit of this strategy here. It's also thundering and lightning, which is a little crazy. Making sure my surge protectors are doing their thing. But yeah, this is something that I was going to start doing on Friday nights. I think it's really cool to showcase like the local community. I think it's really cool to see these players in action. Eventually what I would like to do is do like a on-site thing to where I'm actually doing like broadcasting in person, and we can walk around and talk to the players and get the community involved, and that way it's not this like separated thing, because I think the importance of this is actually meeting the players and being able to talk to them. Hopefully we can in the future, I'd like to get up like a way to interview the players and just kind of slowly build this out to be something bigger and bigger. But I think this is a cute little start, you know. Hopefully the board is kind of readable. We got a little thing. Got to get with them about the about about the board stuff here. Eventually, maybe we could get like angles with like hand cams and all kinds of stuff. But today is our very first instance of it. That is something that I wanted to talk to you about because I thought that'd be really cool. But this one is like something that Dr. Laura was like, oh, I was going to start recording the games and that way we could play them back. And I was like, oh, well, I could cast over them and do like the production side of it. And so he has all his cameras and he did the technical stuff of it with it. And then so he just set up the cameras and everything else like that. And then I'm doing the production, which is something that I'm super interested in. I love doing it. So again, it's kind of that funny thing where I'm like, okay, I will bring myself. I'll bring the production knowledge. I'll bring that. And they're like, well, do you have cameras and microphones and this stuff? And I'm like, no, I don't have any of that. But with our community knowledge combined, I think it's really cool to start showcasing the Florida locals, because we always talk about it. We always talk about how stacked it is out here. We always talk about how good these players are and how ridiculous our set champs are. But as far as I know, we don't really stream any of the locals. We just kind of go and beat up on each other and then go home. So I think it's kind of a cool way. But I think it'd be really cool to, we're eventually going to set it up to, like I said, we can, like, I'll actually be in the store and we can walk around and do player interviews and just not like a big, like, oh my gosh, every Friday is a DLC, but doing it to the point where like maybe it's like a little mini tournament, something to boost locals, something to boost reasons for people to want to play, because I think that, you know, like if you go to your locals and they have something like this set up and they're like, hey, do you want to be on stream? You can actually be in your LGS and get used to what it feels like playing on stream, because even just knowing that the camera is on you can stress you out and you start making decisions that you wouldn't normally play, or like wouldn't normally do. And so say that you're at a tournament and you're doing really well, well, they're going to be like, okay, well, next round you're on stream, and then you don't have any experience with being on camera, and you just go up there and you just beef it because you're making decisions that you wouldn't normally make, or the anxiety is kind of, because people don't realize it, but the lights and knowing that you're being watched and all of that, it kind of, some players it doesn't bother, but other players, they're like, I didn't realize how nervous I was going to be. And when you're nervous, your decision making skills go down considerably. So I don't know. I think this is a cool way to give people a lot of practice. Are you familiar with Tricky Gym in Pokemon? Full grip as these see you make something like that happen. I am not actually familiar with that. I was born for the light, says Pookski. Yeah, I'm good practice for DLCs because it could happen. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So like we talk about our Florida scene and we talk about how good we all are and we're like we could, but we don't showcase that. And then also too, a lot of these people don't have access to, so yeah, let's just build the locals, build the community. I think that it would be really cool because again, like you could test at home or we could test with each other. And it's like, you know, I guess like some people are like, oh, well, if I wanted to practice for DLC, I wouldn't go to like my LGS. And it's like, well, if all of the good players are at the LGS, then yeah, you get practice in paper on stream. And if you're winning at a DLC, you're going to be on stream and you're going to be playing in paper. So it's a good idea to get those reps, being watched, being under pressure, because I've seen so many players in this game where they'll have the like a deeper, like they're like 3-0, 4-0, and all of a sudden now they go on stream and they just choke. And it's because as you get higher in the tournament, it gets more difficult. The stakes get higher. Your anxiety starts like weighing down on you and it starts affecting your ability to make decisions properly. And when that happens, it's because you've been sitting in the comfort of your own house, playing games in paper, and not actually getting used to being uncomfortable like that, right? So going out and physically playing your cards in a setting like this can steaks are always higher. We do like steaks. Medium rare. Anyway, but yeah, right. But I'm just saying, like, this is a cool way, hopefully, for us to build our local community and give players a chance to practice in a way that they're not normally practicing, because you could be a god at home, but as soon as you're put into a high stress situation, you crumble. And so let's get you uncomfortable in safe spaces before we get you to places where you're not, right? Wait, are stakes pricing? Oh my god, my back. But yeah, basically that way when you get to DLC, you're just ready. You're ready. You're like, I've done this 1,000 times. I've played against some of, like, we have like Never Shift. We have all kinds of, we have so many good players. We got Maelstrom, we got Never Shift, we've got, I don't know, the Triad people are really close to us too. Like Freedom Gaming is like dissolved, but like there's so many stinking teams here. I was down in South Florida recently and I'm like, is everybody here qualified already? Like, this is ridiculous. So let's showcase those people because we also have a CCQ coming up. And basically, this is the weirdest way for me to be like, let's show a little bit of Florida pride. Because we're not allowed to do that, right? Like, anytime we say that we're from Florida, it's basically an apology. Like, where are you from? I'm from Florida. Like, oh, and you're like, yeah, we burn books. Anyway, so yeah, let's build a reason to care, because again, we have Disney World here. So if anybody's gonna be into this game, it's gonna be all of us. It'll be these adults. These adults battling it out. I don't know. There has been a lot of stuff recently to where I'm like, I can tell that you've never played this game in paper. And that's not good, you guys. Don't let the first time that you play this game in paper in months be, you know, at a DLC. How's the first day of Indie? I don't know. It's next week. Pew, 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 pew. My phone almost auto-gifted 10 subs. I mean, I wouldn't stop you from doing that, but I probably, if you told me to refund you, I would. 10 is a lot. 10 is like an insane amount. It's too bad SSG flamed out. I know, right? But this is what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, SSG did, but listen. This is this is Central Florida. We're not South Florida. Now we're going to try to build something in Central Florida because we're closer to Disney World, so we can do cool Disney World things. But South Florida was so far for me to drive, I couldn't stand it. They'd be like, "Oh, we're having this tournament." I'm like, "It's 4 hours away. Now you guys have to drive up here. We're going to build a really cool Central Florida thing." Now I'm starting Turf Wars. I'm like, "Okay." At first I was like, "Oh, well, Florida's going to do cool things." And now I'm like, "Well, that's South Florida." As we're waiting for the next round. We're waiting to pair for the next round going into round number 3. But this is actually, obviously you can see by the play mat, this is actually at Cool Stuff in Tampa. So they allowed us to drag our stuff in there and film this. So I think that's really cool. And I'd love to do more things like this. Hopefully we'll be able to do this on Friday nights. So if you are in Florida and you want to go to Cool Stuff in Tampa on Fridays, I won't be there until I can build up and acquire broadcasting equipment, which, you know, little baby steps. Basically, think of JDZ's journey. I'm like wherever JDZ started, I'm like if this is the starting line, I'm kind of like back here stretching still. So, there's a lot of things that I got to build up towards before we can start doing in-person stuff, but they're in spirit. There in spirit is as well. But I don't know. I don't know how this is going for our first time, but I was like kind of proud of the board. I had to make the board, you guys. It looks real generic, but hey, it works. Shout out to Bobby, by the way, for Lorebot. That is the coolest program possible. So if you ever have a reason to keep score or card readers or any of that, this is really, really cool. It's a really awesome tool. And I would have completely been fried without it during that Madrigal deck because that was crazy business. All of those Madrigals working together. And this cool store, this store does also do prizing. I was there a couple weeks ago and I got top 4. And the only person that beat me was Zenulus playing dogs because, you know, only a monster would bring dogs to locals, but but yeah, they had the promos, they had the pins that of course only if you win you get the pin. I was super bummed because I wanted it. And then I got this box. I got the box. And it felt really cool. Like I know you have the pins? Wait, you have the pins? I really love it felt really cool being able to like go and then like you got top 4 and I was like, "Oh, cool." And they were like, "You got a promo and then you get to choose which box you want." And I was like, "Well, obviously I want this one." And I know that it's not like a ton of incentive for people because they miss the pins. But it felt really cool and silly to be like, "I want a box." And they're like, "Oh, you want a box?" I'm like, "No, it's like ooh, it's an empty box." But look, it's got Buzz and Woody on it. I get really excited about weird things, and this was one of them. So, which pens do you have? I was a pin collector, but I didn't. I don't even know. I think I might have the amethyst ink color one, but I missed out on the ink color ones, and then I feel like I fell behind. So I was like, I don't think I need the whole. I actually I sold mine to RMB. So I am no longer the proud owner of A Whole New World pin because I sold it to RMB. You don't blame me. Yeah. The price did a weird thing and I was like, which is really funny because I got, so Zenulus gave me the Whole New World pin that he got from Luke. And so it was Luke's pin that went to Zenulus, that went to me, and then it went to Ryan. So, I kind of love, it's like the sisterhood of the traveling A Whole New World pin as it made its way all the way through. Like, it's still in the family is kind of how I came to terms with that. So, I did take a picture of it before I sold it to him. Didn't feel great. And now when I cast, I have to wear like other pins, and I miss it. But also too, everybody it's very weird about that pin. You have a whole new world pin and you're just wearing it around. Everybody wants to talk to you about it. And then also try to bribe you to take it from you. So I'm kind of, it's kind of good. It's like a burden. Because now I no longer have a whole new world pin. And it was almost scary to have it because people were like, wait, you have one? Like, is it on you right now? And you're like, are you gonna rob me? Because please don't. I'd really rather you didn't. And, you know, just in general. Goodness, what happened here? We're waiting for the round, waiting for round number 3. So you're not missing anything. I'm actually keeping an eye on the board because that's something that I can do. And they have not sat down. You just offload all your pins. I mean, potentially. I actually don't know how much the pins are worth at this point. They're 20 bucks each. That's kind of cool. I mean, let me take a look at it here. I was like, what's the secondary market looking like that today? Today was one of the days that I didn't religiously look at it. I've been looking at it for the past few days now, and it's been a lot. Every time I turn around, one of my cards is now like an egregious amount of money. But at the same time, I'm like, who would ever buy it for that much? Okay, so You Got a Friend in Me went down. The Ariel from Fabled is still $2,000, so that's insane. Oh, Eye to Eye is now a $1,800 card. Woody is only a $300 card. Sick, no big deal. Spooky Sight is a $900 card. These prices have done insane things. It's like it got worse. Yeah, Woody's only 300 bucks. So the thing with the Woody is it has to, like, after tomorrow, it has to go down because like a bunch of people are going to be winning it. And I feel like the people that won it in the first weekend, not a lot of people are going to want to sell that. So then this weekend, they're going to go get their second Woody. And so now there's going to be an influx of people going up and selling all of the Woodies. But here, take a look at it. Let's take a look at this. Nope. Sorry. It's a lot of noises. Ooh, we can remove this. Boop. Yes, I do. We are no longer a sponsored stream. Boom. Look at this. We play 4 of the foils. That's crazy. I just want the non-foil. But the non-foil promo, I think, is like reaching upwards of 20 bucks, which is a lot. It's kind of a lot. Okay, so we are waiting. They are on turns. This is another thing too. Can have your, just sell them. You have 6 non-foils. Okay, I will take some of your non-foils because they're going in my deck because I want to play with non-foils. I don't like playing with foils. I don't like playing foils, but those, if I could get full arts of every card in this game, I would just throw those into my deck. Yay! Hooray! See you in Indianapolis in a week. Okay, this is actually upsetting because I did sell her for $350. Please tell me nobody's buying her like that. Okay, so I did sell her for $350. That's fine. That's fine. This is insane. It's gonna make me throw up. That's truly unhinged. Trying to make sure we don't miss any movement over here on the. Whoops. Nope. Yeah. Oh, the Merida? Let's see. Merida here is, what, Merida's only like $2,500. That's actually I know that this is insane. This feels cheap. Is that weird to say? That $2,500, oh my god, $800 is an insane. I didn't know it was $800 that you sold that for. That's unfortunate. I think Garrick was saying he traded up for his iconic Mickey, but he actually traded a Pooh Honey Wizard for his iconic Mickey, and he also traded like a bunch of other things. So, but they're like, there ain't no way he's like, he still has to have like be at a plus, right? But like the Pooh Honey Wizard would be an amazing card to have. But he does have the iconic Mickey now, so because I think he only traded this one, like it was a few thousand when he had it, because the when he traded it, the Honey Wizard was only like $200, so I think that was quite at the beginning of Fabled. So I don't know, but Merida seems like she could go up. This is crazy. When have we ever seen this for this Rockstar? D23 things still going pretty hard. Those are all out of stock. First edition D23. Yeah. Oh, look, it's cheaper now. It was thousands of dollars. This guy. I like how this one is like moderately played. What did you do to it? Oh. Okay, well, the alien's like $600. Okay. This is insane. I will say, though, I looked everywhere for this card going into... And the players are sitting down, so I'm going to switch over. I looked everywhere for this card going in, like, the weekend of Fable. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I was going to trade the farm for it. I know who this is. This is R&B. It's R&BZ on the left here. And I don't know the players' names. I will have to guess the other one, but we're going to get old R&B over here. Over on this. I don't know what he's playing. He is playing legal Disney Lorcana cards. I do know that. I'm probably going to go ahead and start the round here. It is... Okay. Well, it's a bit of a treat for you guys. Not a treat for them. But, boom. It is Humble versus R&B. So we're going to go ahead and switch this. What colors do you think that R&B is on? We already know the colors for... We're going to just go mono blue, mono sapphire. Mono sapphire is what we're doing here. Humble versus R&B. I don't know if they move the camera or if they just keep messing with me. I swear. Next time I go to an event, I'm actually going to staple the mat to the board, to the table, so they can't move it around. But we are going to get into it. We have R&B over here on the left, who is a Golden Mickey holder. He actually got his Golden Mickey in Atlanta, which was the first DLC, which was the easiest DLC. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But we do know that Humble is on this toy strategy. And Ryan, I'm assuming, playing Mono Sapphire, unless he brought dogs. Did you bring dogs to locals? If you did, come on, dude. Come on, dude. This was your chance. Okay. He didn't. He couldn't have. Like, again, we're going to say he's playing Mono Sapphire because that would be better. That'd be better than us having to... It's Mono Sapphire! It's really not. I have no idea. But these players, obviously, both on Team Maelstrom, both very good players in the area. Humble already demonstrating this toy strategy as we ink people to play a Omnidroid. Oh, we're going to ink it. Don't do this to me. Don't play weird cards and then go really fast. Omnidroid, it's a 1 cost into a Woody, but we are going to sail the Asteroid Sea, which is a totally normal thing to do, inking a sail and a T-Bow on that turn. And we will not quest probably because the Omnidroid is a 2/2 and so is Woody. Now we know that this deck likes to play Bullseye on 2 and then sing and then shift Woody and then do a bunch of shenanigans, but Omnidroids can do insane things. Like this guy, he can shift on top of an Omnidroid, and when you shifted him, you just get to play Fire the Cannons onto anything. So you're kind of hoping, because it is a 2 shift, that we have that available to us, then we could just get that Woody up on out of here. And it does seem like we have it shifting to for a 4/3, being able to do 2 damage to a character. Just kidding, it's an other shift one. I didn't know there was this many Omnidroids. They all look the same. While there's a character under this character, it gains resist +2. It is a 6/6. We now have a 6/6 on the board. This thing is massive. Holy. But we have two little hams in play, so we are going to go ahead and immediately play a Namari after inking our Merryweather. Namari is only at this point, we will be able to draw and discard a card, so she'll be a 2/5, discarding that Arthur, which is a hilarious little card to put in here, but we will take our 6/6 with 2 lore on a quest. What's up, Jack? Thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome back. But hey, it was only a 2 strength character, so we came in with the Headless Horseman, a Terror of Sleepy Hollow, and immediately showing a little bit of tilt from R&B as we throw our Popsicle around. Popsicle notably cannot have in core. This is core, you guys. Welcome. Look at this wide board. We will go ahead, challenge into the ham, getting rid of that immediately. Getting it up out of here. It has resist +2. It is locals, but it's still R&B and humble of Team Maelstrom. Locals coming in Tampa Bay, super stacked. But hey, Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy coming on down, and she's enchanted. This is one enchanted that R&B did not get rid of because he did get rid of a lot of his enchanteds. But Tinkerbell would never be one of the ones as Della's Moon Lullaby. Come on in. Reducing that strength and immediately taking care of it because why wouldn't you? I love this toy deck, but I also love Sapphire and Steel. So I'd love to see some cool things happen here. But Humble seems to be oops all answers as we got rid of her. Oh, goodness. There's a lot of lore here. This 6/6 is pretty impressive. Now we could go ahead and sing You Got a Friend. I can't actually sing. I'm not allowed to do that. But You Got a Friend of Me is going to be able to look at these cards. And did we? No, we got a little frog from here. And again, that frog is free if you've had a character that has been removed this turn. But we have not. So we'll go ahead and put that into our hand. 6/6 Omnidroid on the board. What are you doing? My dude going ahead, taking out that ham and playing a Goliath, inking a Goliath, and being able to draw 2 cards at the end of our turn. Now that will be able to start drawing Humble some cards, but this deck is known for drawing tons and tons of cards, so I don't know how much of a problem that will be for us as we play the Jessie, ink that frog, and play another Jessie, which is actually horrifying because whenever you pay 2 or less for a card, period, whether it be a toy or whether that be a song, you can now start reducing the strength. And now that there's 2, we will be able to do that twice as much. So we are going to challenge it with the Omnidroid with the resist +2, only taking 4 damage back. And we will cool sing. He hurled his Thunderbolt and hurl that down and then immediately play an Infernal Schemer. That was oops all removal there for R&B, cleaning up this board, being able to go down and draw cards off of Goliath. Humble immediately having to hard play this Woody, or this You Got a Friend in Me, because we want to potentially shift Woody on top of himself. And then we are going to get a Bullseye and a Jessie off of this You Got a Friend in Me. Now, we will be able to pay the Bullseye for 2, but we're going to go with the Jessie instead because we could ink and then play the Bullseye for 2. Haha, reduction, synergy. Getting another wide board, and we saw R&B's turn. It was a lot of removal, a lot of challenging, and a lot of stuff happening here. Now we are going to go ahead and double challenge into that Goliath, getting rid of him. Now Hades has -1 strength from the Jessie trigger from playing the Bullseye for a reduction 2 cost or less. But hey, Pete, we've already seen today. We're going to go ahead and boost the future Ghost of Christmas Past, play this Omnidroid 2/2, and start to go extremely wide, getting up all the way to 8 lore. Humble not having tons and tons of cards in hand, but a lot of ways here with Jessie. If you are able to slam some more toys, you are able to draw a card when she quests. But she might have to do some challenging. She might have to do some kind of something. But this Rex coming on down, being able to enable that Jessie, when she quests, drawing a card. And we got to throw this bullseye somewhere. But listen, bullseye's only going to do a little bit of damage. This is a 6/6. So bullseye is only going to be able to do 2 damage to this. But he's actually going to go on a little bit of a singing journey first with the another You Got a Friend in Me. Another one. And we'll get 2 hands in a box, which is really morbid when you think about it, but we will get that second trigger. So now Hades is -2. If we find something, okay, we're just going to go ahead and rip off the last You Got a Friend in Me. This is literally every single You Got a Friend in Me. That's a lot. That's kind of a lot, but it's okay because we'll go ahead and play this Woody. More card advantage, more card advantage. And if you, what you notice, this deck, each turn, R&B has dealt with this deck over and over and over. And all it did was generate more and more card advantage, being able to just hard play all of the songs. And every time you did hard play the songs, you would just minus things. Now this Hades is literally like a -3 million approximately, because again, the hand in the box also triggers as well. So that's 2 more. So you -4'd the Hades and then -1 on the Omnidroid. Okay. And we're going to have to do a lot. A lot here. This is what I'm talking about. This deck is ridiculous. If R&B can't clear off a lot of these characters, which the most terrifying thing right now I think is the Jessie. But again, once we get a full quest out here, if we don't start doing something, you can play a Sid and just win the game from this point of what Humble has done. So Spooky Sight would be hilarious, but unfortunately, this deck's ability to come back after a board wipe is very impressive. It's very, very impressive because of all the card advantage. Now, we have seen Humble play pretty much every single You Got a Friend in Me, but we are going to shift this Omnidroid, which does give resist. It's a resisty 6/6. Now, our Hades is actually approximately 0 strength, and that Omnidroid is actually a 5/6 because of that. But we're actually going to go and quest. We're going to race it down. You're going to say you don't have any removal. I'm not removing anything at all. Now, if Humble... So Humble is 5, 6, 7. So he has to play a Sid. He has to play a Sid, and he can't. We're going ahead and quest with the Jessie, shifting a Woody, questing probably immediately with this Woody, getting up to 8, playing a character for free, minusing things down. But at this point, we need to play a Sid. It's going to be a Rex. It's going to be a Rex now. See, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, we will not be able to deal with this board. We're going to have to throw a bunch of stuff in here, but these Omnidroids have resist, so doubling up like this isn't going to help. But 6 is immediately enough for the Sid. Pop that, gain 1 with the Rex, and now R&B does have to get rid of it. It's not Mono Sapphire. I was just joking. It's a joke. But going ahead, popping that, now R&B does have to make a decision on what character he would like to get rid of. Now, the Omnidroids both have resist +2. They are 6/6s, but of course one of them has damage on it. The Hades, again, he can go to 18 here. We need to be able to, because if he just throws his board in here, each toy is 2 lore. So now we're deciding that we're just going to leave this. So you are going to have to throw your toys into here so you can gain 2, 4, 6, 8 lore. So you can go all the way up to 18, but you will have to trade your board. And really, those Omnidroids that's a lot. It's kind of a lot. So you won't be able to, so yeah, you'll throw that into the Pete. He will take 4 damage. You're going to need to throw this in. So you gain a total of 4 lore from that. Now you can hold your stuff back. Again, Sid does not trigger if it's not on your turn. So we are going to go ahead, throw that in to gain the lore. And we are going to play a Ducky here out of the old Churnaduck. If Droid survives and Crediboy wins the game, I'd have to read that card, but we are actually going to think about this because if we do, we'll gain 3 lore here from the Rex, and it does only 1 damage to the Omni Droid because it does have resist +2, going all the way up to 18. So we are going to immediately pay 2 for a docketing, as we do look for some characters here. Looking through our inkwell, shuffling things around. Is it going to be, it's a Namari, we're drawing. I think we're looking for it, discarding into a Tipo. Is that the game? I think it was the game. Looking for it, oh my gosh, and that was super close as we have Humble taking it with this deck. These synergies core is going to be insane. As we go on to game number 2, Toys taking it again. This deck is relentless, you guys. I hope that you take a deep breath and really get used to our toy overlords, because it is going to happen so fast. It'll be a month from now and we're going to be like, hey, remember when dogs were a problem? Anybody want to put the toy box away? Because this is what we're going to see. It's relentless. We saw the fire the cannons type strategy coming in from the Omni Droids, taking care of early toys, taking him off singers. We saw turns where he was basically hard playing songs and just still doing so much work with the Jesse, with the You Got a Friend in Me, with we didn't even see the baby head. And then when the Sid came down, he was only at 8, but that didn't matter because the board was so wide. It's just ridiculous. Amber Steel kind of dunks on Toys. I say this as a huge toy deck fan. Toys' weaknesses are challenging decks like Ruby and Steel. Listen, if Ruby and Steel is good post-rotation, let me know, because we have got to figure out a way, because the Amber and Ruby, I think, is the fun version of the Toys deck, but the Amber and Emerald is the terrifying version of the Toys deck. So basically, there's also that, but we're going to play that Omni Droid out immediately because we saw how much work that can do, and we are on the play, but we are going to raise you a Woody for your Omni Droid. Now we do have the shift. Do we have the shift available? Is it a shift 2? We see Mrs. Incredible into the inkwell, and we're actually just going to go on a quest because shift targets never show up in this life, but we are going to go trade the Woody from the Omni Droid, opting to say, hey, you shifting that is actually more horrifying. But here is Ranger Plane coming out of the gate as we're playing some difficult things here for me to remember. Your character's gains support, sick, and chosen character with 10 or more gets +3 lore this turn. Ranger Plane is insane. Plus that Omni Droid, hilarious, but we do see the, what? Just, come on, bro. I need you to chill. Did we scoop? Oh, okay, did we scoop? Did he literally scoop? No, not like this. Not like this. Oh my God. Okay, all right, well, you know what? Toy overlords, take it. R&B said, nah. Okay, so basically what ended up happening is the Bullseye lived. We actually sang You Got a Friend in Me, and we're able to then pull 2 characters off of there. But the 2 characters ended up being characters that you can play for free. And since we had challenge in with the Woody, we actually took those characters from the bottom of our discard into and onto the board. So yeah, I do. I know that R&B doesn't feel like one, but let's switch on over. Let's switch on over and because that was crazy business. We had like 30 minutes left in that round, and again, we are oh yeah.
And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. And
We need a little bit of dance party after that one. I'm trying to see if they're gonna play another game.
And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and get real high and loud. See to the top of my lungs what's going on.
It was so fast.
And I say
Yeah, he did scoop a little bit early. I actually just asked if we could get like a backup match or something of they don't want to play right now. They're hungry and they want to go get food. All right. Um apparently R&B was a little hungies, so it was just 3 rounds. Now again, that was a locals. So yeah, it was a locals and so what ended up happening is R&B bricked, and when he bricked, Humble actually had the actual just nuts, just basically he was flexing the toy deck to its fullest extent, and R&B didn't have any card draw, anything. He had the buckies. He had it all. He had exactly what he wanted, and he was also a little bit hungies, so it was probably time for dinner for him. So we scooped up there, unfortunately, for us, because I wanted to see that deck. Back in the box with you, Sapphire Steel. Fold me once, I'll play it again. Fold me twice, I'll play it again. Fold me. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, y'all, there's a lot of cool things going on with Sapphire Steel, and we saw that. We saw the Omni Droid come down. We saw it was able to shift. It was a literal 6/6 on turn 2 that has resist +2, which was able to battle back pretty efficiently. The other Omni Droid that came in was basically shifting on and firing the cannons, which is really, really good. We also saw the Mrs. Incredible. We saw the Arthur. We saw a lot of really cool things that could have happened, but we did see R&B bricked out of his, mind and not really getting to do anything. And then Humble basically just said, hey, what if I play everything in my deck for free right now? What if I did that? And R&B said, I'm hungies. That was essentially, he called a lore guide and said, I'm done. Sometimes Sapphire Steel be like that. Yeah. Again, I really liked we saw him ink the Mrs. Incredible, which was really cool, because then you're able to then, you can actually have the Arthur come in with the Mrs. Incredible. And so it can challenge readied characters, and that also is able to ready itself. So Arthur basically turns her into this resist scar monster. So I really like that tech, but knows what's up when finding places to eat during tournament weekends. I mean, yeah. Oh, okay, we're hopping on stream. We're going on stream. Hold up. All right. Look at this. We're back. And it is Dr. Lore versus All Right. It is 1-0 right now. All right. We got another backup match. Look at that. They do need to give us more lab rats. They do. So we know that I believe that Josh is Dr. Lore here is on. Woo! Look how fast that is. We love that. And that is, I got the names mixed up, but it's okay, you guys. We have more Disney Lorcana coming your way. That's really cool. So we do have this Emerald Sapphire on one side, so I think we already saw that happening, so we'll just go ahead and okay, we're saving that, and we went ahead and took a little look at the hand, saw our demise, but it's okay. We're playing Amber into Tipo. We saw Josh doing this last time, and Bobby, I don't know what happened, but I lost the names on this, so I lost the ability to put the names into Lorebot, so that's gone forever as we go ahead and play the Willow with no one drop to follow it up into a Cinderella Dreams Come True. Being able to help us with the ramp here. Mowgli hitting that ramp is really brutal, but Daisy immediately going on a quest, seeing what it's going to give you. And it's a Tipo. You go ahead and put that in your hand. Might help us with that little bit of ramp going forward, since you did get that sniped out of your hand. And we will play Hades Looking for a Deal. on to your Clarabelle here, saying, hey, you could just go ahead and draw 2 cards because I need her. She's a friend of mine. And of course, we want that Clarabelle light on her hooves to be able to come in and draw some cards. So hopefully, thank you, Bubby. It's actually backwards and my life is a nightmare. But we do see the Clarabelle coming in. We needed her immediately. And then we will just go ahead and sing Under the Sea, getting rid of Mowgli, Grandmother Willow, and that Daisy. So we had an answer, the shift Under the Sea. But again, that he's coming in looking for a deal, letting us draw cards. Now, Josh basically saying here, hey, I'm the aggro deck now. I am going to make sure that you can't do anything about this. This is the Amber and Amethyst strategy, so you're not really able to deal with it unless we get up to 8 ink. Mrs. Incredible coming down. This card has been very good. The people that love this card love her. She is, at the beginning of your turn, able to choose whether you want her to be evasive or whether you'd like her to have an extra lure. And so that utility has been really, really important in this matchup. So actually, we're doing things. And Josh over here and mystery player. We'll just call him player. Actually, I think his name is All Right. Right. Production is fun, you guys. It's fun. Boop. Ta-da. Less fun. Doing some challenging. Making sure we have those triggers now. We're left with quite a few cards in hand here with the Clarabelle onto the board. Now, this Tipo does have the ability to challenge in if we didn't choose the evasive, which we might have went ahead and chose that just to make sure that we keep her around. Obviously, her challenging in, we didn't really need the lure. Lots of lesson cards in hand, so inking this Basil here, being able to play down another Clarabelle and sing your welcome on to your Mrs. Incredible, getting her back in the deck, shuffling her in, and giving you some more cards. That way I can get some Clarabelle triggers and see what we can do here. Now, I think that this Emerald and Sapphire deck is really good into Blurple. And I'm assuming that it's also really good into Amber and Amethyst. I wouldn't think that you would get a lot of points going into this. This Emerald Sapphire deck, if dogs didn't exist, I'm pretty sure this is the deck. This thing is very powerful. Again, we did see Humble was able to kind of take this down, but at the same time, getting a little relentless here. All right, playing down another Mrs. Incredible, playing down our Palace Guard. Oof. Pete, coming on in. Please, the ghost of Christmas future. Now we will be able to boost him this turn if we choose to. Instead of exerting our ink, I like how we just flipped it upside down there. And questing on with this. Are we going to sing Under the Sea? Because that's wild that you have the other one. But no, we will sing You're Welcome. Oh. I think we were inking the You're Welcome to then boost the Pete there to make sure that the next time when we quest, we'll be able to look at more cards. Now, we do see you have a ton of cards in hand, and Dale is going to come in here and change up that challenging math, making a Mrs. Incredible a 6/6 challenger, and we're going to take everything on our board and get rid of that Clarabelle. So all of your card advantage, except for the Pete, is kind of gone, but we will take a look at your hand. Prince Philip into a John Silver. Pretty good cards when your Mrs. Incredible is sitting there with 5 damage on her. And we are passing it back over here to Josh, trying to figure out how we'd like to win, because we're at 8 lore. We got a lot of things going on, but why don't we just sing Under the Sea and get rid of that Dale and the Mowgli? So we are actually hard playing it and freeing up all of our characters here to go on a little bit of a quest, challenge, or anything else they would like to, but we're going to go ahead, quest fully out. We'll get a Pete trigger. We only have one card underneath Pete, so we will just take that card and put it into our hand because we're allowed to do that because he gives you visions of the future, but you got to pay for it. But this Cheshire Cat is going to come down and be able to move the damage by boosting it, putting a card underneath it, getting that, and we're probably going to take the Basil here, but we will take the Clarabelle instead. And then just challenge in good old-fashioned style into that Pete and start really just leaving you with a Tipo and a Basil, making your board look a lot worse than it did before. Now we are at 11 lore for Josh, and Emerald and Sapphire is the deck to beat. So let's just play out our whole hand. We saw it earlier. It's a John Silver into a Basil, continuously going wide, giving this Cheshire Cat reckless and just saying, hey, you got to answer me over and over and over again. All of these little one drops might seem pretty not great, but I mean, Elsa Fifth Spirit is a start here to maybe climb our way back into the game. It will be able to exert that Basil challenge in due to damage, but I don't think we have enough ink to then go ahead and move. So no, we just play the Elsa there. And we actually do, because we can ink here and then move the damage. So we'll challenge in from the Elsa, ink, boost the Cheshire Cat, move that damage over to the other Basil. Getting that up on out of here, I think, would be the thing that I would love to do. Healing up our Cheshire Cat and leaving the damage onto the Elsa because she can handle it. She's a 2/5. She can hang on to that. But we still have the Reckless here from the John Silver, but we are opting to take out that Cheshire Cat and making sure that you don't move any more damage around because that is super annoying. But Prince Philip coming on in for the full retail value and the follow-up with the evasive Horseman Strikes, getting rid of your Prince Philip and immediately rushing out of Sven as well. So now we are boards empty. Pete coming down. We will boost the Pete immediately, and we have a few more ink, but we only have one card in hand as we're going to double it out. Cheshire Cat, Dumbo. Hilarious bit of removal there. Amethyst saying, hey, I'm not down or out, but I will boost the Pete, put a card under it, look at the top two cards of my deck here, put the best one into my hand, and the others on the bottom. Making sure we have enough ink to do all the things we want to do as Hades, Infernal Skinner comes down, and that is the answer for the Dumbo, which we needed that to draw cards. Going ahead, saying, hey, I'll play this Willow off the top of my deck and pass. Josh, draw a card for turn. Probably boost the Pete just for the vibes, or we're just going to full send it because there ain't nothing else you could do. Going ahead, opting not to, keeping our ink around and saying, hey, I got a Mowgli. What's in your hand? I got a bunch of stuff. You can have this Vision of the Future. And it's a Demona. But good games there going in from Josh as he does take that. I do believe that was the second game. So we might be looking a little bit like this. So what are we? So yes, those are we now are you just taking your cards from him? What are we doing? What are we doing with that? Are we... I'm highly confused by what's going on here. Oh, okay. I was like, is this the type of game where if you lose, your opponent gets to go through your deck and take the cards that they want? That did look like that was game number 3. Actually, it went a little bit like this. Boop up. So congratulations to Josh there. Oh, player 2's name. All right, I did this. I accidentally switched things around. Ah! Boop up. Hey, this is the first time I've ever done this. I feel like it's going kind of sort of fine. But at the same time, it's fun. Being able to showcase locals, being able to capture R&B crashing out on stream in his natural habitat. I think that that is kind of beautiful. You know? Well, I mean, because like you get like online R&B crashing out, but really being able to just catch him where he feels most comfortable, crashing out in the wild. But yeah, I do believe that was round number 3. I'm going to see if I can get the PlayHub link here. I think Humble might have been quite utterly undefeated going into that last round. So let's see here. What is it? It's like 9 o'clock. This is kind of cool because normally when I go to locals, I'm like, what time is it? And I get a little bit hungry because it starts at 6 and then typically around 3 to 4 rounds. And you're like, man, I am really hungry. I worked all day and I'd love to play this game, but I also want to eat food. So I don't know. Thoughts on this, you guys? Because this is something I want to kind of start doing more of. I know we were talking about it in the stream. We get a lot of like Florida locals here in the stream, but being able to bring you these games and kind of like cleanse, I guess, because I spend a lot of my week on highly competitive stuff, and it's not that like our locals aren't highly competitive. I think it is, but we're also using it as a way to kind of stretch our legs and just not go so hard in. Obviously, Humble decided to with the toys deck because I think that is a very competitively viable deck. Obviously, it's going to be the deck to beat. It's very rotation proof. Unfortunately, R&B's kind of like little spicy list is going to lose Sail and Tipo and Visions, and we're going to have to kind of come up with alternative ways of ramping, which could stink, if I'm being honest. But we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to see exactly what's left over. Because it's like a month from now, right? Like the 17th? Yep. Okay, so rotation is exactly on the 17th. So that'll be something to keep in your fears, but yeah. I think trying to make sure that was the last round. I was trying to get the PlayHub link to see who took that one. But yeah, so I am going to keep doing these on Friday nights. We're going to kind of get a, hey, what's up? We're going to get them a little bit more refined, I do believe. They can't give up Amber, Grimmer-Willow, and Ham and not give Sapphire a new ramp onto an option. Okay, I'm starting to really feel like that too, because just the power of that toy deck was a little insane. And especially, like, I've played it and I've done some things where I'm like, wow, that was kind of, like, crazy. But, like, watching Humble play it so proficiently did seem like it should be illegal. And, yeah. Metamorphosis busted card to look out for is a crazy sentence that I didn't think anybody would ever say ever. So, are you talking about for the DLC? Because I don't believe you. But if you're right, you're right. I don't know. It might be. But this is, we had a locals here in the Tampa Bay area. That was cool stuff in Tampa. That was what we're doing here now, I think, on Fridays, is really just bringing you local games, seeing what our LGSs have up, like what they're up to. My dream would be to be able to like go around to different LGSs, but we will be confined to, you know, who has equipment for it. Because I have a very special set of skills, but the skills do not include a multi-camera setup yet. We'll get there. And once we do, We'll have some really cool stuff going on here. But I think it's really nice being able to we can make that happen soon. Don't worry. I mean, the thing is the more people I talk about that, the more people are like, yeah, let's do that. So, of course, Dr. Lore, shout out to him. He was kind of the first in the area to take that over to Cool Stuff Games there in Tampa tonight, set everything up and get us rocking with some stream games here. Eventually, I'd love to build up to where I can go and actually bring all the stuff that I plan on acquiring and do like an in-person thing to where I can do player interviews and talk to people, and we can get like a really good thriving local community going. Because I think that what I've noticed is the communities that have like thriving locals are the ones that are like doing something. Obviously, you need a store that's willing to hold the locals, and you also need the ability, like pricing is pretty important, and I think there's a lot of LGSs in the area that are doing that. But if we can, you know, Cool Stuff is like said, hey, yeah, bring your streaming stuff and let's get a stream going, let's broadcast the locals. I think it's a great way for people to practice on stream, get ready for DLCs, because I truly believe that season 3 is going to be twice what season 3 is going to be twice what season 2 was. So you're going to have more opportunities to play at the DLC. You're going to have more opportunities to then be on stream and completely throw your winning in because you don't have experience do that. So let's create an area. Listen, I moved real close to Disney World and I've not seen this many people interested in this game at one time. So I want to give you a reason to go out there. Let's stream the games. Let's get better. Let's test. We had R&B and Humble both on stream tonight, so clearly there's good players around in the area. Let's make it happen. Yeah, let's go. Also find that the ones are thriving and the ones with the players are running the events more so than the event. Yeah, Dex and Dice is another one. I'd love to get up in there because that's where, yeah, Christina is there, and then like the Never Shift people are there. It's also not like an hour from me, so that's also closer to me, and it's a great community, and I'd love to like showcase these players, showcase the locals, give people a reason to come out, show out, and play in paper, because I see you guys out there. I see you guys out there beefing it in paper. And we got DLCs coming up. And yeah, this is Infinity, but season 3 starts in August. And you bet it's going to be bigger. And you're going to have more opportunities to play. CCQs are going to get bigger. They're going to get more eyes on them. And if we can get our locals popping, then everybody that comes out of Florida is going to be terrifying. And that's what I want. The rest of the country is already scared of us. Let's also become some of the best Disney kind of players in the country, and then they'll have another reason to be scared of us, not just because we're all super weird. So that's my goal. That's what I want to do. Yes, I think it would be cool to do broadcasting at like huge levels, big stuff like what JDZ does, but let's just hang out, Florida. Let's do our stuff. It's fine. We're basically our own little thing anyway, so I don't know. That's my goal. So join me here on Fridays as I bring you pretty much, we're already the best players, some of the best players in the country, and we're just going to showcase that here. And we'll just get better and better. So that's my goal. If you guys are down with it, probably gonna start like a little chat thought thing in the Discord so we can get something going. Obviously there's like 32 million Florida Discords that of course we're all a part of, but I'll probably get something going in my Discord so I can have a place where we can throw feedback, ideas, and just basically think about what we want to create here, because I think this is really cool. And again, shout out to Dr. Lore for making the technical stuff happen, all of the cameras and everything. Shout out to cool stuff in Tampa for allowing us to take over. Yeah, simple setup that you can drag along for streaming. The crazy thing is I was like, oh, well, I have cameras and we've got this and that. And then like, once you get into it, you're like, so much is required, but we'll get it. And I'm excited about it. So let me beep. I'm actually going to drop the Discord into the chat. So if you're not in the Discord, join it and let's talk about how we can make all this stuff happen. And part of me is like, oh no, I'm super ultra like doxing myself by being like, this is the place that I go and everything. But, you know, if nobody tries to banish me in real life, then we can do cool stuff. But if you guys are weird about it, then I'll change my name and you'll never see me again. All right, so just little anxieties, please. Don't be weird. Here's the Discord. Let's get together, play games. Let's give people a reason to be like, oh, that guy's from Florida. You don't want to pair into him. Because I think that'd be funny. Because, like, did you bring your pet alligator? Or will you just, you know, beat them in cards? And you never know. Florida man can really do anything. But, let's see. Like, what are we doing? That is the end of my little rant there for what I would like to accomplish. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, we're going to have to talk to R&B and be like, bro, can you not crash out? Can you actually, like, finish your game? Because you have a really cool deck and we'd like to see it. But, but I think there's part of me that wants to stream some Dreamlight Valley, but the other part of me wants to go and lay down. So I feel like 99% of you are not into Dreamlight Valley. So I might just, again, I cannot stream my locals. It's absolute chaos. I think this went pretty well. I think it went pretty well. It also makes me wonder what in the world is happening at your locals that you can't stream it. What happens at your locals that you wouldn't be able to showcase that? You fell asleep on the couch? Nice. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, we got the PlayHub link here. Humble. Oh dear. Humble did 2-0. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yikes. 6, 7, 8. Right. They had about 8 players. Let's see if we can get those numbers up. I actually cannot see Humble's standings, but he absolutely 2-0'd R&B there. I think they're... Got home from music bingo at your local coffee shop. That kind of sounds cool. It's a nice like thing to do on Friday night. I don't know what this is. Shout out to PlayHub for hooking me at every option. There's this thing that PlayHub likes to do when I load it and then I look at it, it immediately crashes. So I'm going to say that Humble is continuously undefeated here. Which makes me believe. So this is the kind of thing too. I want to see this develop because obviously if you're going to locals every week and one person is just slapping you down with a deck over and over again, I have to start thinking like maybe I bring a deck that counters like this guy specifically, right? Like I know that this person's gonna be at my game store and maybe I'm not preparing for a DLC, but I'm sick of this dude beating me. That's probably a thing, right? So you just build a deck to slap down another deck, which might be what R&B did, but the toys are too strong. Again, I watched the meta from like big events, the CCQs, which there's literally one tomorrow. Oh, the tomorrow CCQ here. Lambeau Field, WCC, CCQ. That place is massive. World-class cards. Massive. Holy. I'm just like looking at some of the WCC stuff, but yeah, that should be like in the morning. Nice, bright and early in the morning. And then tomorrow I might be going to Set Champs, but I got wholly fried all day today. And I just feel real bad about it. So I don't know if I want to drive an hour to just get destroyed, but I really want one of those Woody promos. Dang it. Okay. All right, I'll lock in. Where's my stuff? Okay, I gotta lock in. Because if I don't, then I'm not gonna go. And if I don't go, then I won't get the Woody promo. And I'm trying. I gotta lock in. If I don't lock in, then I'm not gonna be able to win. And if I can't win, then I'm not gonna... Let's practice right now. I practiced all day. And I got destroyed. Oh my god. The thing is like, I think when I practice, if I don't have like 100% win rate, I think I'm failing, which is like totally not cool, right? Like, that's not good. Like, some of the best players in the world... Sorry for what's about to happen. Oh, it didn't happen. Some of the best players in the world only have like a... What? Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Like, win rates can only be so much. Ah, what has happened? This is a little toy carrot if you need that. But, you know. So let's take a look at my deck here. Really what we're doing is taking a look at the mess that I have on my desk. Shout out to Foil for the mat here. Okay, might have eaten a couple snacks today. And this is where we landed. One of the cool things I did when I moved into my new apartment was downsize my desk. It is the worst thing I have ever done. I can't stand it. And now I need a new keyboard because I want a tiny keyboard because it's been awful. It's been awful. All right, so let's set this thing out. Let's get it ready because I'm basically gonna put my backpack by the door, and that way it's 2 butcher blocks that you sanded and stained. Dude, my desk is so small. Like, this would make an IKEA desk laugh. It's really truly unfortunate. Because it turns out that buying a new desk was cheaper than it was going to be to rent the U-Haul that was big enough to transport my old desk by the time everything was said and done. So I just kind of was like, meh. But now I have a tiny desk and not enough room for all my stuff, which is probably like a fine thing, I suppose. But L desk on the side, 4 feet long, the other's 8 feet long, mounted to the wall. That sounds really cool. I've seen those desks before where it's like, mine is an L shape, but I mean, like, okay, it's like this wide, like, so it's like an L, and then like the L is right here for my elbow, I guess. I don't know. It was cheaper than my old desk. Like, putting my old desk in a bigger U-Haul would have cost me more money than it was to just donate my old desk and then buy a new one. I don't understand why they have to make everything so expensive and disposable. Like, sometimes it's like getting something dry cleaned. It's more expensive to get something dry cleaned than it would be to just buy a new outfit. I hate that. I hate that about the world. I have a tiny desk covered in stacks of cards. I need a bigger one so I get more stacks of cards everywhere. That's basically where I'm at right now. Like, I'm not going to show you what's happening over here, but it is vicious. So we're editing this deck to put cards in it because I'm trying to win a Woody tomorrow. And I sound like this because I'm so stressed out about it. I'm so incredibly stressed out about it. I actually don't own 4 horsemen. So everybody's like, oh, horseman's better. Yeah. Yeah, I probably tend to agree with you. But when you don't own a card, you can't put it in your deck. On average. That's typically how that is. But I think right now I have 4 Sids in this deck and I need to get them out of my deck because bricking in this deck is so painful. It's so painful. We might be throwing a Roller Bob in here just because I like saying Roller Bob. Do I think Roller Bob's good in the deck? No. No, I don't. I hate this card the most, though. I hate him the most. I can't wait for the new promo one that basically just plays something for free. Oh, and the new Woody coming in from Attack of the Vine. This card is coming out in an instant. Actually, it's probably the baby head because the new Woody is uninkable. But man, I hate it. All right, Sid. Okay, so yeah, you don't need 4 of these cards. I'll tell you what. Because if you have 4, they get stuck in your hand every single time. You got a friend of me, the most busted card in the deck. All right, so this is my 1 horseman. This is a, did we check the price on this? Did I get that far? Because this thing jumped up to like $300 overnight. But that was yesterday. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Where's All Is Found? All Is Found! It is $250. God. Horseman. Like the Headless Horseman, I mean. Headless Horseman. Oh, he's still like $300. Did he sell for $300? Oh, he's selling. Oh, he's selling for $300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no, he didn't sell today. Yeah, he's like 300. And there's 11 listings. So that's typically what happens is when there's like a buyout, either they get bought out or they start going for like $300 and everybody starts listing theirs, so then the price has to start going back down. So too many baby heads in here. Okay, so we are, let's pull up this list because we're gonna do some editing. Get these cards out of the deck so I'll stop bricking. All right. Toys on board. Toys. Okay. So these 4 Woodies are staying in the deck because they're literally, that's like the game plan. There's a new Cars coming out the game. What? What are you talking about? We got Ham stays in the deck. So 4, 4, 4. 4 Rex. I gotta find out 4 of these. We all just lost the game. I knew you were setting up for some BS there. I knew you were setting up. There's a hand in the box. There you are. 4 of those. 4 of these Bullseye. 4 of these Jesse. Oh, look at that. Only 3 of these Monster. I hate you. 2 Baby Head. Get that uninkable out of the deck. We only need 3 Woody. Look at that. My goal is tomorrow to have 4 non-foil promos. You're gonna time them out eventually. I only have one of those, so you only own 1. You can only play 1. Trevelyan, I don't even know if Trevelyan's listening right now. We're gonna have 2 Duckies. 3 Sids, thank goodness. Get these uninkables out of the deck. 3 of the Firefly Swarms, only because I actually only own 1 Horseman. Replacing a Sid with a Della's Moon Lullaby. Boop. Because we want 3 in the deck. 3 in the deck. And 4 of You Got a Friend of Me. And Need to meet up with you on Thursday, Friday. We have something for you. Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I won't be there till like 7 o'clock on Thursday. So Friday, but I'm not playing in the main event. So I'll just be around. I'll just be kind of around. So let me grab my binder because I do need a, you're back. You're back. So I'm taking these uninkable. Yeah, I'll be around on, Friday. I need to throw another BR guest in here because then if I'm taking out the Sid and throwing in a BR guest, I think that's really good because that allows me to get there. Is it ever 4 BR guest and 2 Della's Moon Lullaby? I kind of like that. Your list has horsemen in them and I cannot. I actually just like that. Let's see this list. Okay, let's see what we got here. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3. Yep, 2. Yep, 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 yep. 4. Oh yeah, because you went that one. Drop 3 horsemen for. No. I'm not dropping the horsemen. I'm not doing that. This is, I have 12 uninkables. I'm fine because I took out these 2. We're fine. I had 14 and now I have 12. But I do need, so, oh, you don't like the BR guest. I think I want, so you want Della. Oh, you're saying, no, I like the BR guest because being able to find Sid is kind of sick. So maybe another Della's Moon Lullaby? Probably. So we have 3 Dellas. And then 3 BR guest? Because I don't want to see, the thing with World's Greatest Criminal Mind is it's the best card in your deck until it becomes the absolute worst card in your deck. And then you're just kind of upset that, you know, it was literally like any other card. I can put these away. We're going to put this away. But I need to acquire a BR guest. What side is that from? Oh, well, that's easy. Ugh. I didn't label my binders, so it's actually my nightmare. It's a 12. It kills Blurple and other big bodies. I know, but I can't stand drawing that card. It doesn't even trigger. If it was like cost 2 and it triggered, oh, what's her name? I think that would be really cool, but, what have I done here? Why is this like this? Oh, I put it in an order that it shouldn't be, and it's actually upsetting me. Sick. Okay, so 21. So 20, 21. Okay. I put them in actual order. I mean, I'm probably going to play against you and lose. So this is 19. Or wait. 119 and 20. This baby head up in here. And Sid will be over here. There we go. All right. So we have safely returned these toys to the binder. Now we gotta find our BR guest. Woo. about this set champs is like I have to work and then go to set champs, and it's like, what if I just want a nap? Dang it! Ugh, this binder catfished me. Thought it was my set one binder. So for sure. For sure. I need to label them, but I don't want to. Here we go. Be a guest. Be our guest. There we go. Oh, I have a foil. But I'm not gonna use that one. Boom. Sick. All right. We'll see how this works out. And I'm gonna be so upset if I end up needing World's Greatest Criminal Mind tomorrow. Like, or I could just... Ugh. My non-foil promos is why I'm doing this. Okay. I basically played all day and then kind of just fried myself on the idea of going to set champs because I was like really confident, but now I'm just like, oh no! Oh no, I'm in trouble! I'm in absolute danger, but I was locked in. I felt super locked in until I wasn't. Yeah. But I think that I am going to... Oh, wow. It's a lot of desk. I think I'm going to actually get out of here, but I will be... Sir, this is a Wendy's. Let's see. Okay, so what is happening? Okay, so basically tomorrow is the WCC CCQ, so that'll be tomorrow. I'll be in chat. I'll be with you guys causing a ruckus, so that'll be really fun. Sunday, I don't know. I'll be in chat, but well, actually, no. Tomorrow I'm going to work. I keep remembering. Tomorrow I'm going to work. Then I'm going to a set champs. And then I think we'll need it. In my opinion, Jotham is probably playing dogs. What else? I mean, if Jotham's going, then I'm just straight losing anyway. And what is World's Greatest Criminal Mind going to do against dogs? So I'm gonna lose tomorrow, but I'll let you know. If anything, I'm gonna get a non-promo Woody, and that will be one, and then I'll have to acquire a couple more, and then I can put them in my deck, and that's really my goal now. I went from wanting a foil Woody to getting so stressed out to where if I could just get foil non-foil ones, then I'll be happy. It's ink in that match. I am gonna play toys, and I practiced a lot today and was shown that I might probably not make top 8 tomorrow, but I'll get a non-foil Woody, and then I will try to then acquire 3 more. So hopefully my goal tomorrow, here we go. My goal tomorrow is to acquire 4 non-foil promo Woodies. I don't know how I'm going to do that, especially I'll start by asking the TO if I can have the extras. I spent all day practicing today, and now I'm kind of lowering the goal for myself. So I'm like, okay, so if I can get the 4 non-foil promos, then I'll feel really good, and then I can put them in my deck. And if I accidentally make top 8. Good on non-posting. Ooh, okay. I'm just trying to make a goal. I'm trying to make a realistic goal for myself. So, you know, I want to give my tech, but I do want to see someone do well with it. When is it? As someone that got smushed by dogs, then yeah. Just have fun and beat Humble. I can't. Like, that's not even a realistic goal. Is Humble going? Oh. Wait, are we just gonna play Cookie Run? Oh, Cookie Run. Oh, I was like, oh, do you guys want to play Cookie Run? That's funny. What's that doing here? I love this game. Like, I love this game. And this is like, this is the stuff that I bring when I trick people into learning how to play Cookie Run with me. I have these little, like, they're like half, they're like little starter decks. And yeah, it's like, it's 30 cards. So it's like half a deck, and it just like helps you learn like the fundamentals of the game, like the basic rules. And then you can get into the more complex stuff. And I don't know, I really like this. It's like a little, it's a fun game. But it's a damn near impossible to find singles, and I tried for a long time to get them, petition to get them on TCG Player, and they just straight up, they just won't. The people at one of my local stores are crashing out because more people keep registering for set champs, including Kurt Spice. I mean, listen, like, good. I'm basically right here. The thing is, just made an announcement it's coming to TCG Player. No, you didn't. Really? When? Well, hold up. What's the, do you have a link to that? I literally, okay, I think I've talked to and emailed everybody at TCG Player that would listen to me and being like, please put this game on the marketplace. For the love of God, I want to be able to buy these cards. There's the people that have the cards are able to just set the secondary price for them. So a lot of them are so expensive. And I like, basically people are just like getting, and Cookie Run is really cheap. Like if you buy a box of it, it's super cheap, and then people are opening cards and then just pricing them at an insane price. And because you can't buy them anywhere else, if you want to build a meta deck, you have to like buy the singles at whatever price these people are selling it at, and it sucks. So I kind of stopped playing because I wanted to build a deck, but I didn't want to spend like $300. And I bought boxes and stuff, but you can't actually, you know, whatever. Coming soon to TCG, but could you have a link? Do you have a link? This is really important. Mr. Bashful's workshop. Here's what your toy box looks like. Here, I won't. Okay, let's see. Coming soon. I love it. It's announcement to the announcement. Jingle Joe, we love him. What are you doing different? Oh, I ain't putting that in my deck. There ain't no way. I mean, I get it what you're saying with this, and that's... I mean, listen, I'm going to set champs tomorrow. We're just getting some promos. We're getting some non-foil promos. Collecting them, being little collectors. If I accidentally make top 8, let's go. If I don't, you know, I figured that would happen. And again, people that are complaining, I'm sitting here being, normally I'm like, oh, I might have a slight chance of winning. Probably not, but at least I know I'm going to get a top 8 promo. Now, with the way that everything's going, I don't even know if I'm going to get a top 8 promo. So, you know, that's unfortunate, but that might be how it goes. How many people? How many people? What if it capped out? There are 23 people. I am not getting... I'm not going to be getting top 8 tomorrow. There's 23 people at this. Oh, Humble, R&B. Never Shift. Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be fun. That'll be super fun. Oh well. I'll still get that non-foil promo. Ugh. I'm just like looking at my demise right now because it's like just staring into the void of Lost to Riftbound. All right, rip. Yeah, they're all an hour halfway. Yeah, this one's about an hour away, but we'll see if I can get there. All right. Well, the deck is sleeved. I don't know if I'll actually. I got this. I got this, or I don't got this. Humble. I thought they won last weekend, or was it the first weekend that they won? No, R&B won, did he not? I mean, we'll see. Also, let me take a look at this Cookie Run thing. Cookie Run announcement to the announcement coming soon to TCG Player. Cookie Run Bravers. Thank God. We will be launching support for Cookie Run Bravers TCG later this year based on the globally recognized Cookie Run IP developed by Deb Sisters. Cookie Run Bravers TCG debuted as a trading card game in September 1st, 2023 in South Korea. Due to its beginner-friendly gameplay and charming character design, it quickly gained traction in international TCG community before officially releasing in North America July of 2025. TCG Player will be launching full support for current English release, including first 4 booster sets and 2 waves of starter decks based off the 5 cookie colors: red, yellow, green, blue, and purple, which, by the way, they're adding black into the game. And I'm super excited. Oh, Jotham won? Interesting. Sellers will be able to add to their list of inventory for Cookie Run Bravers prior to the game's launch at Marketplace so soon, so stay tuned. Interested in selling Cookie Run Bravers? Please reach out for more information. I love this game, and this is really good news for me, but bad news for my wallet because I want to play this game and I want to be able to just order the cards that I want. Sick! I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I have to get stamps. I'm so sorry, Kobet. I will get stamps. Kobet, stamps, they cost money. And I'm sorry. Cool. That's so cool that I was like, oh, you signed the box. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try to get everybody to sign the pizza box in Indy. So if I see you and you're in the stream and we hang out together on Twitch, come say hi in Indy because I have something for you to sign. And you guys are awesome. But I'm going to go and probably like panic run some games. Or maybe I'll just watch TV and fall asleep on my face. But I'll see you guys on Monday. We'll be back at it streaming on Monday. So, bye. I go to PC. Hi, internet friend. Yes, you get to sign a box. A bunch of bubble wrap around it. I'm excited. It's the pizza box that Kobet got me. So I'm going to have everybody sign it in Indy, and I'm very excited for that because I thought it would be way more special to have that than just like a random pizza box on my shelf. So I'm very sentimental, so I'm gonna go get some reps in before bed. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday, and I'll update you guys with a photo of me and my non-foil promos in my 12th place tomorrow. Good luck on your set, champs.